What's going on?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. And we are in the building. We're in the building. We're in the building. Want to say thank you to all who are tuning in for another show. We want to say thank you to each and every one of our listening viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in to Steel Radio. I'm your man Steel. That is my lovely co-host Ebony, aka Miss Hot Topic.
Hello.
We in here. Also, we want to say a big shout out to WMEG Radio. Thank you guys for having us once again. We just gonna sit back a little bit and just listen to this smooth intro. Again, I don't even know if we have to say it anymore, but just in case, never know. We don't own the rights to the song. I don't even know if we need to do that anymore, but I like to do it anyway. Rather be safe than sorry. You know what I mean? So, what you sipping on tonight? Talk to me.
Listen. So it occurred to me. So normally I end up drinking a bottle of wine every show, right? But that's when we was doing shows. Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours is a long time. I need a lot of libations. But that's when we was doing the show twice a week. So I was like, I'm gonna have to figure something else out because I don't know if I could drink a bottle 4 days a week. But tonight I got Ciroc, so
Oh my goodness! No, I don't think you're gonna need that. I don't think you're gonna need that.
A little Ciroc and lemonade, So this one glass should be good for the whole show.
Okay, all right. We'll get it in.
Thank you. One of our viewers said that blue is my color.
Okay. Well, I mean, you look fabulous. You look fabulous in your blue.
Thank you.
Look fabulous in your blue. Again, we want to say thank you for everyone who's tuning in. We're gonna keep on letting the viewers get on in here, get settled. We got a couple more minutes on this intro. I mean, so how was your day? I mean, what did you do today? I mean, is it snowing up? No, it's not snowing up there, is it?
No, but it was unnaturally cold for this time of year, right? Because I told you, as long as I've lived here, I've never even had to buy a coat, right? It was cold this morning. And the thing is, when it's even like if it's only 30 degrees, which isn't super cold because we're from Maryland, the wind chill makes it feel like below zero because it's very windy here. Yeah, we have we get like tornadoes and stuff like that. So we have a lot of wind chill and stuff here. So even like the superintendent of school, I told you, they'll close school for anything. He sent an email out yesterday and said that if parents, felt like it was just too windy to send their kids to school, they could make it a virtual day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, they're saying that we're supposed to get snow tonight, lasting into the morning. So
y'all just got like 6 inches, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's So and it's been cold the last couple of days, and they say it's gonna snow again tonight, up into the morning maybe. So we'll see what happens. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
Yeah, so today I still didn't put on a coat, but I did wear a turtleneck. I love turtlenecks, by the way, so I'm kind of sad that it doesn't get cold enough for me to really wear turtlenecks. But today I needed a turtleneck and I had on a sweater, my turtleneck, but that was about it. But it was pretty chilly and windy this morning.
All right. Well, that stuff. But so so hello to everyone who's in there.
Peach Mills, I'm not in Maryland. I live in Oklahoma right now. I used to live in Maryland though. I lived in Maryland for like 30 years. So, but right now I live in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Lawton, Oklahoma.
There's nothing. I heard you said there's nothing to do out there.
It's nothing. I mean, when I tell you that I literally feel like if you've ever seen Get Out, I literally feel like I'm in the sunken place. Like I literally feel like even people who are from here describe this place as a black hole. People who are from here say that if you come here and stay too long, even when you try to leave, you end up coming back.
Really? What part of Oklahoma is it?
I'm in Lawton, Oklahoma. Now, the only reason that Lawton, Oklahoma is a thing at all is because there's a military base here. Fort Sill is here.
No.
And so because Fort Sill is here, there's a melting pot of all types of people here. You know, because like I said, the military, you can get a pass to go onto the base and stuff like that. And so, but there's not like any real nightlife. There's not an airport here. It's a very small airport. So most people don't travel from it, you know, if you're not using like a private flight or something. There is, you know, the restaurants are finished by about 9, 10 o'clock. I hate it here with everything in me. Like I just am so ready to go.
So what I guess what made you end up in that part of Oklahoma as opposed to in the city? Like how'd you end up way on the
Yeah, because
outskirts?
Oklahoma City is very different from here, right? From what I hear, I visited. You know, most of the time when I want to party, I go on ahead and go to Dallas. But I hear that Oklahoma City is a little bit more exciting, and I've gone there for work a few times. I ended up in Lawton because I had an aunt that lived here. Um,
Oh,
and so my aunt, you know, I lived in Maryland, like I said, most of my life since I was like 10. I was born in New Mexico, but I lived in Maryland most of my life. So most of my family
okay.
is still like Texas, New Mexico, in this
Mm-hmm.
direction. And so when both my parents died, I didn't have any family whatsoever in Maryland anymore. And I got into a really bad car accident, couldn't drive, walk, anything like that. And my family was like, you need to move closer to family so we can help you. So my aunt said that God said I needed to come to Oklahoma to get my healing and restoration. And so
That's what God said. Are you sure it was
that's
God?
what that's what she said. She said God said it. So I believed it. And so I came on to
Mm.
Lawton. She literally,
There
after I got here, she literally moved away from Lawton like 3, maybe 4 or 5 months after I got here. And I was like, wait, you said, she was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. But she had lived here for like 10 years. So she
okay.
originally moved here because she followed her church and they did a church plant here or something to that effect. See the things that
Okay.
people will do for Jesus.
I mean, people will do a lot of things for Jesus. I can see that. So you went all the way out there for Jesus because Jesus told you to. Huh? Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
know.
But my
I
aunt
mean,
has since told me that God said it's time for me to go now. That I got what I
oh,
came for and it's time for me to go.
well, okay. Well, in that, what exactly do you think you got by being there, as opposed to you would not
You know,
have gotten
I
had
did
not?
need I did need to come here because when I first left Maryland, I went to New Mexico and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. And then I went to Dallas. And when I went to Dallas, like I was wilding out. When I went to Dallas, I didn't hear from God at all because I was living my best life.
God, you didn't hear from Jesus. He wasn't
No,
talking to
no,
you.
no.
Not
I
not
wasn't
even
trying. I wasn't
not
trying to
even a little
listen.
bit.
I was me and the devil was best friends at that time. I mean, you know, I was just having a good time. So that's why I still like going to Dallas because that's like I feel like it's my stomping grounds. And I only lived there a year, but you know, at some point you have to come to reality. You have to get yourself together. And so
Yeah,
I do
I
think
get it.
that coming here did cause me, you know, to calm down, to focus more on what I need to do with my life and how I need to do it. Because when I hurt my foot and I couldn't work and stuff like that, I really went through like a really deep, dark depression. And
Mm-hmm.
we ended up homeless, and it was just it was like a year of I just felt like I wanted to die the whole year. So, you know, I needed to just come here and be restored and get my mind right and get myself together. And so I've done that. After I got here, I got married.
Okay.
Although I married somebody that lived in Maryland at the time. But anyway,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah. So when Brian came, we agreed that we would stay here until my daughter graduated from high school. So Nitra, I've done a few things in Houston. She said Dallas is nice, but she prefers Houston. But Nitra, Houston is our next stop, right? So when we leave here, I really wanted to move to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
But my family is like, we should go to Houston because it's still close enough to my family. Like if we wanted to drive to each other, and Brian has some family in Houston, and I will still get everything that I want because I just was like, I need to live somewhere where there's an airport. Like I feel like I don't live anywhere where it's like real life. You know what I mean? So I want to be
Right.
somewhere where there's an airport. There are things to do. There, places to go, things to see. So right now the plan is Houston in the next 3 to 6 months.
Oh, okay, okay. So then when y'all get out there, y'all gonna reach some more viewers and stuff and put us on the map out there in Houston, huh?
Of course,
Okay.
it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Houston has palm trees, gives me Florida vibes. Yeah, I have enjoyed myself in Houston, but I will say that I haven't seen a lot of the like life outside of Houston because normally when I go, you know what I mean, I'm like hooking up with friends for lunch or I'm doing this or doing that, and so I really haven't explored Houston as a place. So
Hmm, okay. Well,
does that bother
Godspeed.
you? Because you want us to come back to Maryland.
I did. I'm saying I definitely thought you guys were gonna make another pit stop or U-turn or roundabout or however you want to call it back to Maryland. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But is I guess wherever the Lord's place you and you see fit, you see best, then I guess you have to be there. You know what
See,
I'm
that's
saying?
why I wanted to go to Charlotte because I felt like Charlotte was like kind of in the middle, right? Charlotte is super close to Atlanta, and I love Atlanta. I don't want to live there, but I love Atlanta, and I know so many people. My girlfriend lives in Atlanta.
Oh,
Um,
right, right,
so
right.
Charlotte is only 3 hours from Atlanta, and it's
Okay.
not far from Maryland. Brian's youngest son lives in Georgia, so I just felt like Charlotte is the place to be. But I think I'm getting outvoted by my family. So
Okay, so they want to go to Houston. They want to go to
yeah,
Houston.
they want to go to Houston.
Oh,
My
so I
kids
guess
have a hard time with change, right? So they've never really been to Charlotte, and they're like, well, we don't know. The only reason why my daughter has some excitement about going to Houston is because Brian has a cousin that does hair. My daughter's kind of interested in doing hair and that kind of thing. And so the cousin was like, well, I'll help you. I'll put you on. And so my daughter's
Mhm.
like, yeah, we're going to Houston. So
Okay. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess wherever the spirit moves you, or wherever I don't know.
yeah.
I guess you can make home anywhere. I guess you know what I mean.
You can.
I
And
guess you can make
prior to
home.
COVID, it was no big deal. We would just fly. Like we're just gonna go to Maryland. We're just gonna go here. We're just gonna go there. Since COVID happened, I haven't been back on an airplane. And since I have been resistant to getting the vaccine, I think that I'm still a
Mhm.
little leery about whether I want to fly or not.
Yeah, I get it because closed spaces and a whole bunch of people like trapped in a little compartment area. I can get it. I dig it. And the variant that's out right now is highly contagious. So
That's what I'm hearing.
I
That's what
definitely
I'm
can get that.
hearing. And I've made it this far without getting COVID at all. So I want to keep it
So
that way.
lucky you. But see, if you are as far out as you are, maybe the likelihood of you actually coming in contact with it
No,
is
I
low
mean,
because you're not going to.
COVID is here. I just read an article today. They said that our hospital was changing its visiting policy because of so many COVID cases that we're getting. And Brian's coworker, she just came back from having COVID, and then she was there maybe 2 or 3 days, got sick again, and they said, "Oh, your test is positive again." So
Wow. Yeah. Well, we know I just got over it myself, so
for the second
um
time,
for the second time. So yeah, so but it wasn't as bad this time, other than like late at night sometime I was feeling kind of creepy, just nauseous. I didn't want me to do anything but like lay around and sleep all day one day. You know what I'm saying? But it's out here, so public service announcement. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you take some hand sanitizer stuff with you. But I don't even know if any of that really is gonna do
And you
anything?
know,
Like,
where we live, we don't have a mask mandate. So
really?
yeah, the mask mandate has been almost a year. We haven't had the mask mandate. Like, so you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. The only places that require you to wear a mask are the hospital and the doctor's office. But if you don't want to wear a mask anywhere else, you don't have to.
You just
Um,
so people in Oklahoma out there just wow,
yep.
just getting it.
Yep. And
That's fun.
now, the CDC has decreased the time that you're supposed to be out. So I work at a college. And we
Mhm.
got the email today about the new guidelines. You only have to be out for 5 days and that kind of thing. And it's just like, I'm nervous about all that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Nitra says she's been flying is a little nerve wracking during this time, but she's made it safely every time. She's been flying since June 2020. Um, Yeah, she said folks in Oklahoma don't believe in masks. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on the air, but they told me I could say what I wanted. So I really just think that it's mostly, people with low melanin
Ooh.
that don't like the mask, right? So like even when the mask mandate was here, there were some exceptions, like if you were under a certain age or whatever. Brian said he had somebody come in his store and say he wasn't wearing a mask because he identified as a 6-year-old. Like,
It's funny because
what?
nowadays people, it's all about what you identify with. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So, I
No,
mean,
it's not. He
yeah, I
doesn't
guess
identify as a 6-year-old. He just didn't want to wear a
I
mask.
he didn't want to wear masks. I know. I know. He didn't want to.
So
He didn't
she
want to wear
said, Nitra says, my sister is a teacher in Oklahoma City, and as of today, they have 14 teachers out with COVID.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wonder.
hey, friend.
So I wonder if they're going to end up changing the policies and stuff like that if people continue to keep getting sick like this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even understand if this variant is more contagious, I guess, than the first one, and the first one took longer quarantine time. How could this one, who seems to be more contagious, take less time to get over? I don't get any of it. I really
Yeah,
don't get any of it.
yeah, I
Because
don't
I
either.
originally, because I originally thought that if you got the vaccine, then you wouldn't get COVID, and that's why they were trying to mandate and saying that's what I was, I guess that's what I believe, or that's what I heard, or thought I heard, or whatever.
So
And
did you
then when
got
I
the
found out,
vaccine?
so when I found, huh?
Did you get the vaccine?
What?
Did you get the vaccine?
I can't. What? Is something wrong with the microphone? What did you say? I didn't quite hear you. I didn't quite hear what you said. So, I will not discuss my medical condition, you know what I'm saying, on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Due to HIPAA laws, I don't think
HIPAA
I don't
laws
think I can
don't
just.
apply when you're talking about your own medical stuff.
Oh, I didn't. I thought due to HIPAA laws, you couldn't. You can't talk about your medical stuff. You know what I'm saying, in situations. So, you know what I mean. So yeah. So what are the comments saying? Are people like, yeah, get to those? You know
So
what I'm
the
saying?
comments are just agreeing that the transparent folks don't like to wear masks. Mask wearing has been politicized. Um, the government wants herd immunity. One of our viewers said. Nitra says teachers at the daycare my niece goes to don't even wear a mask. People don't even care about people's kids. But again, it is in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's just so at my I don't wear a mask actively at work because I don't see a lot of people. Like there's not a lot of traffic in my office and at my desk and on my floor. Um, but I do still have like my partition up, and for the most part I'm not really close to people. My boss will even ask me like, is it okay if I come over here and stuff like that. So for the most part we're good. But and I don't, and like I said, I guess the good thing is maybe I haven't had COVID because, like I said, it ain't shit to do in Oklahoma, right? So I ain't
Right,
worried
right.
about running the streets and trying to be at this party and at this place and at that place because ain't nothing happening in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Um,
Well.
They said, Ross said, it's not a game here in the DMV. Nitra says, I'm proudly vaccinated and boosted, but still wear a mask and be wise about where I go. Never had COVID. I hope I can keep it that way. So yeah, here's the thing. I don't look down on or have an issue with anybody that got the vaccination, just like I would hope people don't have an issue with the fact that I didn't get the vaccination. For me, like you said, once I did a lot of research and found out it's not going to keep you from getting COVID, right? Then the other thing is, just in my opinion, it just came out too quick for me, right? It just came out too quick. And then there was the fight about Johnson and Johnson and Pfizer and who this. I don't have the energy for any of that. But I also do not get flu vaccines and pneumonia vaccines either. So to me, if it's not broke, I don't want to try to fix it.
Right.
Now, I did say that if I decided that I was going to go ahead and catch a flight anytime soon, that would be a thing that I would consider maybe getting the vaccine if I decide to start flying. But as of now, and yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. My job will pay people $100 if you get the vaccine. Why? You ain't pay me to get the measles or the mumps or the rubella vaccine. Like, what is this really about? I just feel like there's more to this that I don't know yet.
Well, I mean, none of us are scientists or doctors. So, I mean, I don't, I get it. Like I said, I just don't get it. But it's here. Seemingly, it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And then just when you think that you're in the clear or we're in the clear as a society, then the thing decides, you know what, I want to stick around a little more. And then it mutates into something else. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's here. You know what I'm saying? It's here. This is our world that we live in today. And I guess we just have to, continue to try to be as safe as we can. And
so Nitra says places in Chicago are requiring people to show a vaccination card to enter gyms, restaurants, and places of entertainment. And I don't even know, like, is that legal? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if the people in Chicago have, pressed the issue, but I don't know if that's legal. Like, you can't force me to get a vaccine. Places in Maryland are going to start requiring you to show the card to get in. It'll be mandatory. I don't know if that's legal. Now, what I have heard, so Brian's sister works for the state of Maryland, and she works in Montgomery County. She said what they've been doing is if you're choosing not to get the vaccine, then you have to get a COVID test every day. And if you don't get the COVID test every day, then they will dock you 3 days pay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's every day, but some places may be every day, but I know some places are at least you have to get tested like every week. You know what I'm saying? At least once a week or something like that. From what I understand, in some places.
Now, to me, and I don't mind that. I don't mind, you know what I mean? Okay, I'll get the test every week if it makes people around me feel more comfortable. I get that, I guess. But I guess I kind of don't get it because the vaccine, again, doesn't keep people from getting COVID. So why are you not testing the people who are vaccinated? Because I know a number of people, I can name at least 5 people who had the vaccine and got COVID afterwards, right? So why do they not get tested every week? Let's see. Little Buckshot says a friend of mine said that he found out when he got the shot it cost $400 and some $400. So that was for one shot. So just imagine they said it's over 80 million people vaccinated. You do the math. Well,
yeah.
And that's what I think. So I think it's all about money. Pharmaceutical companies, government, it's money. Like, is it really helping? Is it really doing anything for us? Some stuff I think is just mental too, right? It's just mental. Like if you convince yourself, I believe that a lot of what happens in our body is mind over matter, right? So if you convince yourself, that's why there are such things as like phantom pregnancy. You know that women can convince themselves that they are pregnant and then their body will then show pregnancy symptoms. Their body will then stop producing a period. Their body will then have them feeling like they feel kicks because mentally they have convinced themselves, I am pregnant.
Wow, really? I never heard of that. That's
deep. Called a phantom pregnancy. It's definitely, I think our bodies are mind over matter. So whatever we convince, it's like if you don't know, that's what I told somebody. I said, you know what? I've never gone to get a COVID test, right? Because I feel like The moment that I get a COVID test, and let's say it comes back positive, now I'm on my deathbed, right? Because now I know I have COVID, and my mind is going to make me feel like I'm about to die.
Well, I don't necessarily know about that, but definitely after having it twice myself, I can attest. Unfortunately, this shit is real. It's real. It's real,
Yeah,
and it
it's
will make
definitely
you.
real. Oh,
And
it's
they will
definitely
make
real.
you. And they will make your ass sick. So I can't, because I was definitely one of those people. Listen, I was so I shouldn't tell some. Sometimes I don't even like to say some of the stuff that I say, but I'm gonna say it. But listen, um, I'm O positive, right? My blood type is O positive. So they told me, like, when I was in the military and stuff like that, like having O positive blood, my blood was grayer and this, that, and the third. So I was thinking I was special. So when COVID first came out, I was thinking because I was O positive that my blood wouldn't even allow me to get COVID. That's what I thought. I was like, my blood, O positive.
Oh, you
My,
are you a superhero because you're O positive?
yeah. I got O positive blood. So like, because I got O positive blood, my blood is not going to even allow me to get COVID. And yeah, so that's what I was thinking. But yeah, two times, two damn times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about your daughter. One Scorpio Chica says it is real, and I've lost friends and currently have a daughter very sick. So we're definitely going to be praying for your daughter. No, by no
Absolutely.
means am I saying I'm not one of those people that's like this COVID ain't real. Like when they said it, I believed it from the very beginning. I was never one of those people that was like, oh, this ain't real. That's just the government. No, I believed it. I don't know if I believe all of the whole thing with the vaccine and this, that, the third. But I definitely believe COVID is real. I definitely don't want COVID. I definitely still do everything that I can, that I know that I can to prevent COVID. And when it was first a thing, like we didn't even bring groceries in the house, like without, spraying them down and wiping them down. And it was just the whole thing, right? So it had to,
Okay.
because then I heard that like it doesn't stay on certain, like I used to make Brian come in for work because he never stopped working during COVID. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
make him take off his shoes, outside the house before he got in. As soon as you come in the house, take your clothes off, and I would put them right in the washing machine. Like it was the whole thing I had going for a good while when COVID first
Right.
came out. But we're definitely gonna be praying for your daughter, one Scorpio Chica. Um, Pretty Driven says that COVID people ain't even have a chance. Okay. Roz says, I'm O positive too. You're able to donate to lots of people. Nitra says, I'm vaccinated and my job, which is in medical school, still requires everyone to be tested 48 hours before coming on campus. That first COVID-19, people didn't have a chance. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was very scary. And I actually have a friend right now who both her parents contracted COVID. Her mom's better and her mom's home, but her dad died today. They were
Wow.
both
That's sad.
vaccinated, so I think it's kind of
Yeah,
like six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Maybe the vaccination
right.
makes some people feel better. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Right.
But like I said, I still do everything. So I still always have a mask in my purse. And I'm one of those people, like I got like 30 masks, right? Because they got to match my
You
outfits and
know what?
stuff.
Right. I believe it. I believe it. You know
They
what I'm
got to
saying? You
match my
got
outfits and stuff.
right.
Like my
Because
Christmas mask,
COVID,
I told you I'm
you got to
cricketing
be
right now.
decorative.
So my Christmas
Right.
mask says, baby, it's COVID outside.
Oh my goodness. No, you did not.
I
But you
did.
know what? It's catchy, and you know what I'm saying. You might be onto something there. You might be onto something right there. You know what I'm saying? It's COVID outside. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You probably make a whole song about it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so I still wear my mask. I still have tons of hand sanitizer. I've always been kind of a germaphobe in general before any of this ever came out. So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like bleach kills everything, even HIV. So I've always been a
Damn.
person, it does. So I've always been a person that keeps a bottle of bleach in the kitchen, a bottle of bleach in the bathroom, a bottle of bleach in the laundry room. We wash our dishes in bleach. We clean the bath. Like when Brian sometimes comes in and he be like, I can tell you've been cleaning because all he smells is bleach, right? That bleach smell makes me feel like it's fresh in here.
It makes it done. Bleach will bleach will make things like, you know what, it's the house is clear now. Yeah, that's just true.
Right.
This is definitely true.
Nitra says with the new variant, I heard we should upgrade to the KN95 or N95 mask. Yeah, a lot like in the hospital now. I think there might be some truth to that because, like, when you go to the hospital or doctor's office now, they used to let you wear your own mask, like whatever mask you had, and now they
Right.
make you wear hospital masks. Here, at least, they make you wear hospital
Okay.
masks, hospital grade masks. So, yeah. So anyway. Yeah, so I'm all about the bleach. I'm all about. I don't know what I would do. Like I've heard certain people say like they're allergic to bleach, and I'm like, how do you clean? What do you do? Like,
Yeah. I mean, bleach is outstanding. I love bleach.
now one Scorpio Chica says, so does hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
Because look, even our former president was wondering why people can't just drink bleach to get better. So
He did. He did. He did. Matter of fact, did he say? I don't think he say drink it, or he said like you can get a needle full of it. Some I don't know. He said something off the wall, and people was like, "What? What did he say?" Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna read that comment out loud, friend, because you're showing off for the people on IG.
You don't want to read the comment?
No,
I should read the comment.
That's a friend of mine.
I should read I'm not gonna read it.
You better not.
I'm not gonna read it.
Oh.
So what's
so
up?
He wanted us to inject it. So that's what.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. He said
okay,
if you take a needle of bleach, that it would cure COVID. It was crazy.
Yeah. So listen, I even put bleach in my bath water.
You know what? You said that on a show before that you will put bleach in your bath water.
I do.
So like, what does it do? Does it clean out the kitty cat? I mean, I don't even.
It makes me feel like it does. I'm not sure. Like, and it not. You know,
I mean,
when I make a bath, like I fill the whole tub of water. So I just put 2 cupfuls of bleach in my bath water, and I just feel like I'm squeaky clean. I feel like anything that was happening, I ain't got no BV. I ain't got nothing else going on. I'm squeaky clean. You guys sometimes gotta soak that cat.
It don't. I mean, but that doesn't make it. I mean,
no.
I don't want to be too personal, but like, doesn't that make the kitty cat like itch? No, it don't. It don't do that.
Because again, it's just 2 catfuls in a tub full of water, right? I'm not saying pour half a cup of bleach or a cup of bleach. 2 catfuls is enough that I can still smell it, but it's not enough that it's going to like bother me or affect me in any kind of way. I've been doing that for I don't know how many years. I did it to my daughter's bath. And my mom used to always tell me, your daughter ain't gonna never have no hair down there because you keep burning it off with that bleach.
but I mean, what I'm saying is like
somebody, one Scorpio Chica says she does the same thing with peroxide.
Oh. Okay.
No, Roz said I put peroxide in my bath water. Somebody else said my mom's been doing it for 40 years.
Wow. It's I mean, you know, women, you guys have all kind of secrets and stuff because I would have never known. Like who would have thought that?
Nitra says her kitty cat will be on fire. Nitra, let me just tell you one thing. I have one of the most sensitive hoo-has there is. Like I literally used to say, I feel like if you breathe on this thing with bad breath, I'm gonna have a yeast infection, right? Like I can only use certain soap. Like I have more, but that bleach has never affected or bothered the hoo-ha one time.
Wow. Oh well, yeah. Well, we as men, we don't have those issues. We don't have issues like that. Thank God. Amen. Knock on all the wood ever on earth. I don't know, but I mean, but what is that? What I mean, well, if you're filling the tub up with water, like what is like 2 small caps going to really do anyway? Like, is it really doing anything, or is it just something like? Is it like one of those mind over matter things you think is really doing something, but it's really not doing anything at all because it's only 2 capfuls?
I really don't know. I mean, of course, I've read articles that said that it's it's sanitizing and stuff like that. I really don't know, but it really is a mind over matter thing. It makes me feel like it's been disinfected. It makes me feel like it's cleaner. It makes me, and I when I first started doing it, I would do it like right after my period, right? So right after my period was over, I would just be like, okay, let me take this bath and this with this bleach in this water, right? Because I'm gonna just cleanse out all the deadness and all everything that was going on. And I just have always done it. And so I've done it with my daughter, and she's never had any issues. She's never had a yeast infection, nothing like that. It's just something I've always done. Once I started doing it, it just maybe mentally it's a thing, but I just feel, because women are really not supposed to douche. That's that old school back in the day thing. Like, so I don't douche, and so to me, maybe that's like my version of if I did douche.
But you know what? It's funny because, the makers of Summer's Eve and all these other, like, hoo-ha disinfectants spend all this money, millions and millions of billions of trillions of dollars on advertising and all these things. Who knew that all you needed was a tub full of water and 2 caps of bleach? I mean, you could really be cashing in on something here. And yeah.
And if you talk to your gynecologist, most gynecologists do not recommend Summer's Eve. Like, my gynecologist told me, don't use Summer's Eve. And I was like, oh, well, I'm trying this new. I used to use this one soap that Walmart, they stopped selling it. I don't know if it went off the market, but it used to be called the V-Bar, right? And I thought that was good. And my doctor's like, well, bring it in. Let me look at the ingredients. But my doctor was like, don't use Summer's Eve. It's really not good for you. Like, it's just, they sell it that way. We buy it, but it's really not good for your vagina.
Well, I don't know why they make it then.
Because we keep buying it. Because we buy it. The same thing, like when I saw these commercials, I know you've seen the commercial of like the laundry companies are making stuff that they're calling sanitizing wash for your clothes now, right?
No.
When I saw, and I was like, people are buying this because this sanitizing wash is making them feel like I'm sanitizing my clothes. But I was like, why are you buying that? Like, if you're washing your clothes in hot water, or if you're putting bleach in them, it's already sanitized. But whatever people will buy will sell. So now we got people out here buying this sanitize and wash as if their laundry detergent in their hot water is not doing the same thing.
Wow.
Now somebody mentioned Miss New Vintage Curvy Life says vinegar baths are good also. Now let me tell you what I used to do with the vinegar bath. Ladies, I'm gonna put y'all on some game, right? So when I used to, when I wasn't married, that's how I'm gonna say that. When I wasn't married and I was free to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I was still having my period, most women know like when around the time your period's gonna come. So what I would do was, in order to stop my period, like I just need a couple days because he's coming through, and I just need a couple days before this period starts.
Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Don't
say what?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
This is a life hack, so you can stop your period, so you can go ahead and do what you want to do and be good. So I would have a shot of vinegar and a vinegar bath.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? You would drink vinegar?
Drink a shot. I still drink a shot of vinegar every day. It's actually good for your stomach. And
come on, man, cut it out. Come on, you drinking vinegar?
I'm very serious. Listen. Apple cider vinegar with the mother, I think it's called mother, that's still in it, is actually very good for your stomach and your hoo-ha.
Listen. No, so you're drinking vinegar. You're taking bleach baths. You're putting vinegar in your water too, and just so a man can come and slide through. Really, that's what we're doing?
Most definitely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right? So
absolutely not.
A shot of vinegar, couple capfuls or whatever of vinegar in your bath water. It'll tighten you up, first of all. So women, if you had a loose weekend and now your real man is going to be there, whatever it is, take that bath, take that hot bath, put some vinegar in that water. That thing will come right back to brand new.
hold on, wait a minute, wait. We're not gonna speed past that like you just didn't say what I think. What do you mean if you had a loose weekend? What does that mean, a loose weekend?
We've
What does that
already done
mean?
a show. We've already done a show on like why women cheat and why men cheat or whatever. So let's not pretend like every now and then, you know, you don't get into some trouble. You know what I mean?
No. What? How did you just get into some trouble? What do you mean a loose weekend? A loose weekend? What is that? What? No. What exactly does that mean? A loose weekend? That's what we call it now. Loose weekend. Okay. Shit. All right. So
Listen.
um.
Or maybe you're LS. You know what I mean? You're a lifestyler. You had a loose weekend. Now you got to get back to regular life. Put a little bit of vinegar in your bath water. Shot of vinegar. It'll right back on up, and you'll be good.
Wow. Listen, all I'm saying is this. Fellas, if you're listening, I don't know how many fellas is on there. Listen, I'm telling all the fellas, I'm urging all the fellas right now, if you go into your homes, throw away all the vinegar in your house. If you listen, you come in the house with a bottle of vinegar, yeah, I promise you, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions. I'm dumping all of it out right there on site. Oh, what you got this for? It ain't Thanksgiving. Ain't nobody cooking no collard greens. Nope. Threw all the vinegar away. All the vinegar.
But look,
It's out of there.
that's why you have to drink it, right? Because it's good for it really is good for your digestive system. And so let me read some of the comments. I done told too much. I told too much. Okay. No, it is not snowing in Oklahoma. You missed that conversation. Somebody asked if it's snowing in Oklahoma. Someone says I use Refresh after my monthly. Vinegar baths are good. Also, I don't even use harsh cleaning stuff. Listen, I really don't know how Summer's Eve is still in business. I told you it's not good for you. Yes, vinegar is also used as a disinfectant. Don't need to douche. Y'all stop commenting so it will stop moving every time I try to look at it. Don't need to douche. Drink a lot of water. Body will naturally flush itself. Yeah, so the GYN will tell you not even to use soap down there because the vagina cleanses itself, right? I personally looked at my doctor and was like, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna need some soap down there. But the GYN will tell you just use water. Just wipe it with water because the inside of the vagina cleanses itself. One Scorpio chick said, I love it. I only use the feminine way that Chris, your PhD, that keeps your PhD intact, the pH balance intact, because that's what it's really all about, right? It's about our pH balance. So anytime that you let a man ejaculate inside of you, anytime that, what? That can throw off your pH balance.
Okay. Right.
So I don't know how many people, there was a show, I can't think of the name of it, but there's a show on TLC that's about people who are polyamorous. And a lot of people were upset because there was a black couple on there. A lot of people were upset because she was saying that when a new woman came in, that they needed to get kind of on the same eating schedule and everything because she didn't want her pH balance messed up. So she didn't want, whatever, when he stuck it in her and whatever was in her and then stick it in her, it was throw off her pH balance. So she made the women like that I need you to stick to this diet, this drinking schedule, whatever it is, for this number of days before y'all have sex. Because I don't want my stuff jacked up.
Well, I mean, if you drink plenty of water, the water will pretty much flush out your system and any toxins that you have in your body. So water, it's its own, what is water? It's natural. Flush your system out and you be good. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so Rod says my doctor put me on Refresh. And the Refresh is also in the same section that you would find Summer's Eve at. Y'all, I really have a lot to say because every time I try to look at the comments, it goes back down. Okay. My doctor put me on Refresh. In college, been using it ever since. Wash that keeps your pH. That's a wash that keeps your pH balance. I can't even use Bath and Body Works scented soap on my kitty cat. Yeah, Dove only for me too, Nitra. I listen. One time I tried to use Caress, felt like my whole vagina was on fire. You hear what I'm saying? It was like, oh no, no ma'am. I thought Refresh helped with restore lubrication. It says technically we aren't supposed to wear panties with colored. Wait a minute, my comments jumped again. I don't wear panties at all with colored cloth linen inside. Refresh is for pH balance. That's why they got cube and changed the F to pH. They got cute and changed the F to pH. Yeah, my OBGYN said we don't have to wear panties to bed. Got to air it out down there. Apple cider vinegar is life. I definitely do apple cider vinegar in water a day. Yeah, just a shot of apple cider vinegar. I'm not saying drink a bottle of apple cider vinegar or whatever, but I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to help y'all. Yes, definitely got to air that thing out. Great for apple cider vinegar is great for the digestive system. Don't laugh at the loose weekend. Like, ladies, y'all had some loose weekends. Now, don't be. I do a shot of apple cider vinegar with water, lemon juice, and cayenne pepper. Makes you feel less bloated.
Oh.
Perhaps you and your main had a nice, fun, and healthy weekend. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just like, look, we was real busy this weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and take this bath and get it back right.
Okay, all right. So what we getting into tonight? What we getting into tonight? We done some pH balances. We done know about vinegar and snapback and summer's eve.
Yes. So like I said, even certain foods can throw your pH balance off. That is correct. So men, when you drink alcohol, we can taste that, right? Certain foods like asparagus, broccoli, stuff like that, we can taste that.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I mean, I don't drink, so we ain't worried about all of that.
Okay, so I think I've caught up on all the comments.
Okay. So what's the subject for tonight? What we getting into tonight?
Yeah, one Scorpio chick, I hate panties too. I haven't worn panties since 2017. Ever.
Okay. So we got
I
some
recommend all ladies it's just an unnecessary piece of clothing that you have no need for.
Okay.
Okay. So how long we been talking and we done been all off the subject?
Well, I'm trying to get us there.
Okay, so listen. So what we're supposed to be talking about tonight is social media and relationships.
Again.
Well, because listen, we tell our viewers all the time, send me your topics. You can't be in jeans. Oh, I have mastered wearing no panties with everything I got. No jeans. I can wear them with no jeans, anything, no panties for me. But, okay, so we tell our viewers, send us your topics. What do you want to talk about? So one of the things they wanted to talk about was pertain to social media. And it also we're going to get into some other facets of what they brought in. But so the question is this. Well, there are lots of questions, right? Like, are there rules for social media when you're in a relationship? You know what I hate? I hate like those couples that they social media pages together. I just be like, what kind of trust issues y'all got in y'all relationship? So like my social media, it would say something like Ebony and Brian, and we both have to share the social media, and then you gotta say who you are or whatever before this is Ebony or this is Brian. To me, anytime, and I could be wrong, but anytime I see something like that, my immediate thought is somebody cheating on somebody.
I've never seen that. Like two people.
You don't see that, especially on Facebook. You don't see that.
Like two people like sharing the same Facebook page.
A couple are sharing the same face. Yeah.
No, I've never seen that.
Nitra says, I agree. They're very insecure and email addresses together. Yuck. Yeah, I just took, when I see that, my immediate thing is like, oh, so just let everybody know somebody lied or somebody cheated. Social media is the hookup spot? Really? Like all social
media? Man, listen, like back in the day, you know what I'm saying, there wasn't that many social media sites, you know what I'm saying? It was like what? Black Planet way back then, MySpace, and a few other ones. But then, all of a sudden, like social media ended up becoming the new club. You get what I'm saying? It became the new club. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times, like back in the day, you had to go, you had to, like when the weekend came, if going out was your thing, you know what I'm saying? You had to get to your barber, you know what I'm saying? You had to get your hair cut. You're gonna go out, you want to pick out some nice threads, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna go get your car washed or whatever you had to do. And then you want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to go head on over to the club and you want to post up at the club. But when social media came out, you know what I'm saying? It's like for men anyway, social media, for men, when men would go out to clubs and stuff like that, it becomes a numbers game. It's all about numbers, right? It's a numbers game. And dudes ended up finding out that you have better odds on social media than you ever could get going to a club. And then you'll spend money to get your hair cut, all this other stuff, and then you might not even score. And if you don't score, it's like I went through all that, I didn't score. But now on social media, you ain't got to get your hair cut. You can sit home. You can just twiddle your thumbs. You know what I'm saying? You can go tap, 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 tippity tap. You know what I'm saying? And you increase you increase your odds by 110%. It's all about the numbers. All about the numbers.
Okay, the comments are saying, social media, Ron says, I think it's popular now because people are social media influencers. So they create content on the regular. One Scorpio Chica says, I know 2 folks who share one Facebook page. It's so dumb. And there's been no cheating. They're just crazy. But to me, even if there's been no cheating, that means there's no trust, right? Like, why do I and my husband need to share the same page? Either we trust each other or we don't, in my mind. The younger folks, yeah, that's true. So when I got into the social media scene, the only reason I didn't even really know there was a social media scene, right? Because I was busy being a housewife. But the only reason that I got into the social media scene is because my kids were. So for me, it was like wherever my kids are going to be, I'm going to be there too. Because I can't monitor what's going on in the world if I'm not even a part of it. So that means that I got Snapchat and the TikTok and the Instagram. And then, they've had so many. I've had so many different social media things. Twitter. I don't even be on Twitter, right? But if my kids were there, I felt like it was important for me to be there to know what the hell is going on.
Right.
So you're right. So once all of the older folks started coming on Facebook, all of the younger people were like, yeah, no, we're going to let them have it. And they moved to Instagram. And now I think that a lot of them have even moved away from Instagram, and now they're all about Snapchat and TikTok.
Yeah, listen,
social media has a way of...
I like me some tickety talk. I do. I ain't gonna lie.
I told you stop calling it that. I told you stop.
It's pretty awesome. It's informational. It's the information highway, baby. I'm just saying.
Okay. Social media has a way of connecting and reconnecting people, Nitra says, because it's not about going out and having a good time. Nitra says people can use filters, a whole lot of catfishing. Well, wait, catfishing is a whole different subject.
That's a whole different subject. Man, listen, I don't even understand. I don't even understand the catfish thing. I don't get it. Like, I was watching an episode the other day, and I just don't get it because, like, I saw a commercial. I'm like, wait, catfish? Like, is that show even still on? I don't get it. This dude was talking to this girl for 2 years. Two whole entire years, okay? That's 365 times 2 for 2 years. And he never saw her. He never, like, video called her or nothing for 2 years. And, like, these people are still out here falling for it. I don't get it. You would think with all the social media platforms that you have, like, I don't get it. Like, how are you falling for this at this point? And everyone's seen the show, right? They know what catfishing is, and you still out here falling. You still out here in these streets falling for it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, as I look at you with this hat on, there's also a such thing as hat fishing.
Excuse me? Catfishing.
Catfishing, yeah.
Catfishing.
Because
What
a lot of men look real different with their hat on than when they take their hat off, right? So there is a such thing in a women's world as hat fishing. Like, we got to be like, girl, you seen him without his hat? Hat fishing.
Well, I mean, I don't hat fish. I think my head looks pretty good with or without a hat. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't
That's
know
a
that
thing.
hat fish.
That is a thing.
I did.
Roz just said definitely hat fishing. That's the thing. But here's what happens with social media, right? People have this low self-esteem, and now they have someone on social media telling them all the things that they want to hear.
Right.
And you've seen it. You've seen, like, I've seen at least, where like a dude will be telling a woman, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and she looked like a booger wolf. Now, that's not to say that some man doesn't find her beautiful, but all she has to do is put a little cleavage up, and now she's, oh, look at you, and you like, she's a booger wolf, right? Like, why are you gassing these women up? But they give them the feel-good words, as somebody just said. They say the things that they want to hear, and so every time they give an excuse for why I can't video chat, they just accept it because they're still feeding their soul something that they need.
I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I guess that's some people.
You're not a
That's some people. Me,
so you don't know.
If I meet you, if I meet you on social media, yeah, I'm not, like, we're gonna have to, like, if someone, like, doesn't, like, if you ask somebody to meet you and they's like, nah, I can't. Okay, cool. You got your kids. All right, cool, no problem. The next time, well, I gotta go to the moon and pick up some space rocks. Good chances that person being real is probably slim to none. I think I'm going to pass. Yeah, I'm saying.
A lot of times these people are like in different states. Very rarely on the show Catfish, they don't live in the same place. So that's a whole different thing. But that's the other thing they can hide behind, is the fact that we live in different states. I don't have the money.
No,
I don't, you know what
listen,
I mean?
I get that. I understand if you live in a different state, you might be able to say, well, look, I can't get to you right now, whatever. But everybody, well, most people have a computer, tablet, phone. They know a friend who got a phone. Somebody knows somebody that has some kind of device that has some kind of camera system on it. So you can't give me I get it, I can get to the state that I'm in, but you can't tell me you can't jump on Instagram Live, let me see your face. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me you can't jump on Facebook. If you don't have a computer, go to your friend's house. Girl, let me, like, nah, bro. If you don't, if I can't see your face, you got to go. Like, I'm good. Peace. I'm out of here. Like, I'm not playing no games like that. 2 years? He did it for 2 years. 2 years.
I've seen that show where they've done it for 10 years, 5, 10 years. And I'm like, and they're like, so then they're like, I'm in love with this person. Do you think that it's possible to be in love with a person that you've never actually met?
Now listen, I mean, I don't know. They did a whole show about it. You saw
that show on Netflix?
They did a whole show about it.
Blind, or What If Love
is Love Blind? And like,
I love that show.
They did a whole show on it though. They did a whole show. The whole show on it.
Any of our viewers see that show? Have y'all seen that on Netflix? I think it's called Love Is Blind. I think it's called Is Love Blind? I think that's Love Is Blind, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was called that.
So if you haven't seen it, the premise of the show was it was an experiment to find out, is love really blind? And so what they would do is they had a number of men, a number of women, and they would go into what these things were. They called them pods. And they would go into the pods and they would just have conversation with different people at different times. Eventually they, would be like, yeah, no, I'm ruling this person out. And they would just end up like having conversation with maybe just 1 or 2 people. At the end of it, they had to propose to the person that they feel like I now love based upon all the time and conversation we spent in these pods. But they had never seen each other's faces.
Right.
So from that show, 2 couples did actually get married. So after the show, they proposed, they said yes, and then they get to meet each other and they get to spend some time with each other. Two of the couples actually really did get married. Everybody else pretty much kind of when they got to the altar were like, yeah, no, I can't do it. Right. So everybody else pretty much, and then they even did like an after show where they like followed up with them 2 years later. Those two couples that got married are still married 2 years later. They're still happy. They still love each other. And so I definitely think, having been in a long distance relationship, if I had not been in a long distance relationship, I don't know if I would have agreed that it's possible. But having now been in a long distance relationship, I definitely think it's possible.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible because all things are possible, but it would be hard if you've never seen the person. That show would have been hard for me. Like, I mean, because I can talk to you and you can say some sweet things, and you know, you gotta get a feel for a person and stuff like that. But for me, at some point in time, it's gonna come down to.
So do you think that makes you superficial and shallow?
Absolutely.
Now, in the show's defense, I will say, in the show's defense, they didn't have anybody like ugly on the show, right? So in that show's defense, they didn't have any reveals where the person was like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Everybody on the show was good looking. They were good looking people. So I don't feel like there would have been a time where people would have been like, what the hell did you? It wasn't that. So, and I think that is a little different because you don't really know, like, and I will admit, I'm with you, Paul. I'm pretty superficial, right? Like I admit it. I say it all the time. You know, I hear people say once you get a certain age, looks don't matter as much. I disagree. For me, for Ebony, I gotta be able to look at you.
I'm not gonna sit up here and make it seem like, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that I've never, you know, granted a courtesy pass or 2 or 3.
But wait, why did you grant the courtesy pass though, Paul? Tell us why you granted the courtesy pass or 2.
You know,
because you're a dude with a penis.
I mean, I've granted a few. I've granted some. You know, get out of jail free ugly cards. I'm not gonna. I've given a few out, but you know, it's just one of those things. I think we all have. Sometimes you go through things, and you know, you'll just like, you know, you make an exception for someone that you might not necessarily would make an exception for, but you'll make an exception. No, you never do that. You never did. You never ever. You ain't never.
No, you know. Pause. The only time that I have made exceptions have been like at an LS party, right? I don't find this dude attractive, but like 5 or 6 women that told me, girl, he got some good D. I'm telling you. To me, that don't even count because all we about to do is fuck, right? I don't want to talk about it afterwards.
No, but no, I didn't say anything about, you know, having feelings for the person. I'm just strictly saying you made an exception for what you normally would do, and you made an exception.
Off the top of my head, the one time and one dude that he caught me at the right place at the right time with the right amount of liquor in me, and I had heard that he had some really good D, and I was like, all right, one time.
Okay, well, it's an exception. Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's an exception. So yeah. So it happens. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Ross says, I was watching something the other day talking about falling in love with the perfect stranger. How cool is it that you can meet someone you don't even know and then grow to love them deeply? Nitra says, I mean, looks matter to a certain degree. Ross says, I don't care what anyone says. Physical attraction is definitely important. Whatever that attraction looks like for the person. Looks matter. Nitra says, I ain't never even been that thirsty. Ross says, I did once. I dated someone for 3 years and I was not, and I mean was not attracted to him at all. But he was so persistent, so I gave in and let him take me out on a date, and I loved how I felt. 3 years? Somebody you weren't attracted to at all? Yikes. Nitra says, I ain't laying up with no ugly dudes. Good D or not. So, yeah. And Nitra, so Roz, I've been there, right? And I was just talking, me and Brian were just talking about this the other day with my daughter for some reason. But I was saying that like, I have had at least 2 good dudes. I know they were good men, right? I know they were good men. I know they would have treated me like solid gold. They were always, lavishing me with attention. And like you said, they were so persistent. And I just could never bring myself. I just would be like, yeah, we friends. Like I could never bring myself. I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to lie to you. It's just not going to happen, sir. Like like you said, I can't find an ounce of attraction to you within me. I can't do it.
You can't do it?
No, I can't do it. Ross said he ended up growing on her. Yeah, here's the thing. For me, I will never know. It's just like I say, like I will never know if a dude will grow on me, because once I decide I have no attraction to you or I think you're unattractive, I'm not even going to give you the time or day, honestly. Like I'm not even going to entertain you. You're probably not going to ever get my phone number. We're probably not going to ever get past this first meeting where I've decided I don't think you cute. So, I mean, I could have missed my blessings a few times. See, and after you did all that, Ross, she said after she did all that, she found out he was married and 20 years older than her. See what I'm saying? You made exceptions for ugly, yo, and look what you had to deal with.
Well, I mean, that was a more a character. What is it? Character.
But he was already ugly. So if she had just passed on him because she wasn't attracted to him and she thought he was unattractive, she would not have had to go through those 3 years with him only to find out this dude is lying anyway.
I mean that's true. That is true. But at the same time, you can end up with somebody who's very attractive and find out the same information. But I guess,
I have a girlfriend that tells me all the time that she likes ugly dudes. Like every time she sends me a picture that's like new dude she's with, I be like, what? And she be like, girl, I like ugly men. Like, what? And I have heard the ugly men treat you the best. I don't know. I'll never know.
I mean,
Pretty Driven says, I don't do ugly, but you don't have to be super attractive since I'm not having any more children. What?
What? What does that mean?
As long as we don't reproduce.
Wow. But I mean, I think there might be some truth to that, based on, I think there might be some truth to that as far as looks are concerned. I think sometimes when you are, because sometimes like women who are a little bit more attractive, women who are, pretty women are trouble. Pretty women are trouble. Pretty women are trouble. Definitely. But pretty women are trouble. You guys are assholes. Just want you to know. And you're trouble. You are. You're trouble.
I have never been trouble. I have never been trouble.
Listen. Right across your forehead right now, it says trouble on it, like in capital T. You are trouble all the way.
I have never been trouble. The problem is, though, this is also where you find out how secure these men are that you're dealing with, right? Because here's the thing. If you were attracted to me, then you know that other people will be attracted to me. And just because we got together or said I do, doesn't mean that people stop being attracted to me. That's some shit you got to work out within yourself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's. I guess it just all depends. It just all depends. I know from experience that pretty women just. I always ended up having more problems with pretty women than women who may have been
just average women,
a little less attractive. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Nitra says pretty women don't have to settle, so they're not going to put up with dumb shit. Period.
Well, I don't know, because according to the show, women will put up with some nigga with some good dick. So who knows? I don't know if that's even true.
But
That's true.
but that's because they have decided they want to put up with that, right? But they know they don't have to. Mm. Well, first of all, you're talking about apples and oranges, right? Because just because a guy is good looking don't mean he got good D. That's the first thing, right? Okay. So when you come across a dude that is good looking and has good D, listen, you gotta make some real decisions. You know what I mean? Now you gotta decide what shit you gonna put up with so you can keep getting this good D. And what?
Yeah, well, pretty women the same way. Like if you come across a woman who's real attractive and she got some good stuff, man, listen, I'm trying to tell you. Listen.
Have you putting up with a whole lot of shit you didn't think you was gonna put up
with? Listen, have your ass in a bush for 4 hours. You hear me? Hey, where you going? Where you going? Stop playing.
I agree. One Scorpio chicken says pretty is subjective, and that is most definitely true, right? So I definitely, I definitely don't think that like I'm the prettiest chick out there. I believe that there's probably a dude out there that looks at me and be like, she all right, like, you know what I mean? So I'm by no means, I definitely know that like it's subjective. It's very individualized. What one person likes, another person might not, and so on and so forth.
This is also very true.
But I also think that there are like general. You know what I mean? Like in general, there are certain people that you just be like, ugh. You know, like Whoopi Goldberg, right? In general, a lot of people say Whoopi Goldberg's just not that attractive. She's not hideous. She's not, you know, like, cover your face. But a lot of dudes don't find Whoopi Goldberg attractive. But there are also people who are like, she's beautiful, right? So we're talking about like general things that we can kind of generally agree on. There are certain people we can generally agree. You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend would be like, girl, look at this dude. And she'll send me a picture. And generally she knows I'll be like, yeah, no, he's not attractive at all. Right? Even though we have different tastes in men. Ron says, yeah, because none of my friends think the men I like are cute, like ever. Okay. Not Whoopi. I'm just saying it was just See, one Scorpio chica says she, and I don't think that she's unattractive, one Scorpio chica. I think like I have looked at pictures and been like, she's attractive right there. But I've also seen her where I was like, it's a no. Well, and sometimes it's based upon like, why she wear her hair like that? Maybe she just changed that lipstick color. Like it's little things.
But, you know, but I also think with Whoopi Goldberg, I don't think that they, because
Pretty
sometimes
said we just used to her now, so that's true. I agree with Pretty Driven. Whoopi has come a long way, and now we're just used to her, so we don't even think that she's as ugly as we used to.
but I also think that, you know, like looks sometimes also has to be or deals with how a man or a woman carries his or herself. Like, you know, they say swag, you know what I'm saying? And Whoopi Goldberg, you know what I'm saying? She's not a monster like you said, but even in Hollywood, they never really gave her a real, I guess, like sexy role. She was always being funny. She was always being like, you know, mean or something like that. So, and then they always had her walking kind of, you know what I'm saying? So they never really had her casted her in sexy roles. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So I think that also might have played a part of why she might have kind of seemed as not as attractive. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know. I don't know because like people like, let's say Marlon Wayans, right? He's never really, until he just did Respect, right? He's never really been anything serious or sexy or whatever. Even in Respect, he wasn't sexy, but I think he's attractive. So,
who knows?
Swag is important. They're saying you gotta have swag. Swag is important, especially dealing with less attractive guys. One Scorpio chica says, that's it for me, Paul. I just can't find folk attractive just based on their features. So it's funny, right? I still talk to a dude that I dated when I was like 16. We're still very close, right? And so he says to me all the time, like when he met me, I was wearing the jeans with the zip in the back and pumpkin seeds, right? And I thought I was the cutest thing walking. And he says to me all the time that like he watched me like grow into my swag, right? He watched me become the confident woman that I am, that I wasn't when he necessarily met me. But you couldn't tell me I wasn't back then, right? Because back then I was a perfect size 6 with double D's. So you couldn't tell me that there wasn't a man walking that I couldn't have if I didn't want him. So swag is definitely a thing.
See, that was like, so for me, I was just the opposite, because when I was in high school, like in ninth grade, like I was like 100, yeah, I was like 119 pounds. Like I was pretty skinny, and women used to always, yeah, and women would always talk about me. They would call me ugly, and everybody, like all the women, they thought I was nice, but no one wanted to date me. Women would always want to put me in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I can be your friend, or you can carry my books. You want to carry my books? Carry your books? I don't want to carry your books. You know what I mean? It's like shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like women would come up to me in school like, don't you want to buy my lunch for me? Like, what? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But women just didn't think that I was that attractive when I was in the ninth grade. And then going into the 10th grade, I saw this dude who was a bodybuilder. And he was like, well, you at the age where, you don't want to lift weights too much because you might stunt your growth and all that other stuff. He was like, but, you know what I'm saying, if you do a lot of sit-ups, push-ups, and things like that, and eat ice cream, because ice cream will put on weight. It's like, okay, cool. Like, since we told me, I was ninth grade.
Came from.
Yep, probably. So going from the ninth grade to the 10th grade, like that summer, I didn't do anything. I sat in the house all summer long. I didn't go outside. Only time I went outside was to go to the store to get a gallon of ice cream and come back. So I was eating a gallon of ice cream every day. And I was doing sit-ups, push-ups, and pull-ups. And then by the time I came back to 10th grade, I was 155 pounds. So I put on some weight. You know what I'm saying? But women still didn't really, didn't think I was really that attractive. Not until, like I said, not until 1991.
You know
the year.
Uncle, the year.
Yeah, 1991. I was a senior in high school. I was about to graduate. And then my uncle, he came out with a movie. And after that, I was like, yeah.
So what did the movie have to do with anything?
My uncle, he was in it. And he said, listen, you can be sexy. Wesley Snipes is my uncle, for those who didn't know.
Oh, God.
And he's my uncle, so he made it okay for dark-skinned guys to be attractive because he was in. I'm dark-skinned. I don't know what you're looking at. I mean, there's a light in my face, so I'll probably look.
I know you. I've seen you in person. I know what you look like.
I'm dark-skinned. Okay, there's a light in the face.
I'm darker than you are.
No, you're not. I'm darker than you. Anyway,
you
my uncle Wesley Snipes.
Than me.
Cut it out. Are you kidding me? Do you see this dark skin? Anyway, Wesley Snipes made it okay to be dark skinned.
They're saying it in the comments, you're brown. One Scorpio Chica says you're not dark skinned. Teacher says no, Morse chestnut is sexy chocolate. If you thought you were ever anything close to Wesley Snipes' complexion, you have body dysmorphia and you need to see somebody.
Well, listen, all I'm saying is women told me that I was not attractive. They told me I was ugly, and I felt bad. But then I started drinking milk. I did. I started drinking milk, and then I started going to the weight room and I started lifting weights. And then I decided, you know what? I don't care who doesn't think I'm attractive. I started believing that I was attractive. And then once I started believing I was attractive, it was.
Because I tell women all the time, men are attracted to confidence, right? You don't have to believe that shit if you don't necessarily believe it. But when you learn how to exude confidence, it's something about that draws people to you because you give off so much confidence in yourself. They want to know you more. They want to get to know you more. Confidence is important. Nobody, man, woman, wants to be with somebody who has no confidence.
Well, yeah. Well, I started to exude that shit because I was like, listen, you don't have to think I'm attractive. I think I'm attractive. And so, yeah. So then, yeah. So I started believing in myself when that. Because I mean, again, I don't
And
think
then
I'm like the
did
most
the women start
attractive.
pouring in? After you start believing in yourself, the women start pouring in?
I mean, I wouldn't say pouring in, maybe drizzling a little bit, you know, just a little drizzle. You know what I'm saying? A little, you know what I'm saying? I got a little, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got a little drizzle. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say pouring, but they came drizzling a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for me. So I was happy about that. You know what I'm saying?
Ross said nothing more whack than a dude that acts and moves like a gump. Yeah, you know.
Damn. Damn. A gum. Damn.
Your daughter said laughing my ass off, my dad.
What? First of all, you know what I'm saying? She's funny. My daughter, she cracks me up. She cracks me up. She cracks me up all the time.
Ross said, "Oh, they was pouring in. They was pouring in."
Nah, I'm not gonna say pouring. I would definitely say drizzle. A little hard drizzle. Yeah, a little hard drizzle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's a hard drizzle?
Like, I mean, okay, it's like, you know how the drizzle's like a little bit heavier than light drizzles. It's a little heavy drizzle, but it wasn't like torrential downpour. You know what I mean? It was a little drizzle though. I had my moments. I had my moments.
You need to cut it out. So listen, and that's why. Now I'm gonna tell you, I will say that honestly, my whole life I always thought like it was never a dude that I couldn't have if I didn't want him.
That's confidence. That's confidence right there. I mean, you know, talking about, you know, sticking your peacock feathers out there. I mean, you just.
Which is very funny because like I really like had a period where I had super low self-esteem, but nobody ever knew that, right? Because I just learned that like you can't let other people know that. But I went through a period where I had like super low self-esteem, but I also felt like it's no dude out here that I can't have if I don't want him. I don't know where that thought process came from, even if it was just like for sex, right? So it wasn't until I got like older that I realized that like, okay, they don't like you. They just want to fuck you, right? So then I had to come to the realization that like, okay, there's a difference between a dude really liking you and wanting to get to know you and a dude that just wants to fuck you. Let's see what the comments are saying. Nidra said it was raining, but you weren't getting wet. Mm.
I mean, listen, you know, back then when I was in high school, no, I wasn't getting wet. When I got to college, though, when I got to college,
you were a late bloomer.
No. I started no. Let's be clear.
Okay.
I mean, I started having sex when I was 14. Okay, I started having sex when I was 14.
Nobody wanted you.
Well, okay, it was this one girl. Her name was
You don't have to. I don't know if I can. Don't tell us her name.
Okay, but it was this one girl. This one girl. When I was in high school, she gave me a chance. She was like my first kind of like real girlfriend or whatever. I don't know if she was feeling charitable or whatever, but she gave me some. And after she gave me some, I started walking around. I was feeling a little better about myself. I was like, you know what? I can do this. You know, it was like I was like this. I am somebody. Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's you know it's no for real shit though. It's amazing. It's really amazing. God, you know it's. I don't even think women even understand how amazing and how much power women. Because do you know, like, when a man gets some, do you know the amount of confidence that you give that man? Do women even understand? Like, when you get some, I'm telling you, like when she gave me some, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like I was, yeah. So I started when I was 14, but it wasn't like a whole bunch of people. It was like, you know, her, and then when she dumped my ass for this tall dude, you know what I'm saying? I felt pretty bad because, yeah, she got me for tall.
Sometimes with men who are really tall.
Oh, I can't stay. Like, listen, when I was younger, I was projected to be like 6'4", 6'5" because like the way that I was growing. So I thought I was going to be taller. So I'm like, okay, 6'4", 6'5", here I come. And then my ass just stopped growing. So yeah, I don't really like tall dudes. I got a problem with tall dudes. I don't really like tall dudes.
So Nitra says, really, that gives men confidence? I mean, but
oh my God,
does it always give men confidence? Because I think like one thing I do like I'm not going to be a notch on your belt, right? So the one thing that I've always said is like, I don't like the popular dude, right? So if this is a dude that a lot of women are into, a lot of women are talking about him, everybody's like, girl, have you seen Paul? Paul this, Paul that. I promise you, no matter how fine I think he is, that's the dude that I'm going to be like, I'm not fucking with him, right? I don't got the energy to be going through those type of changes with the popular nigga. And you're not about to put me like another notch on your belt, like, oh, I knocked her down too. Oh, Ebony, oh yeah, her too. Oh, Nitra, oh yeah, her too. So you're not gonna do none of that to me, right? So is there a time when like you've been getting so much pussy now that like it doesn't give you the same confidence anymore? Maybe it's more like just a confirmation of the shit you think you already know.
Wait a minute, hold on. Was that a question? What?
Yeah,
was that a question?
I'm asking. So is it always a confidence booster when you get some new pussy, or does it become a thing where it's like, oh, now this is just confirmation of some shit I already know?
I'm not, I'm not. I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where when you get some, it just makes you feel good. I really don't know how to explain it. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like pussy
for you. No matter how much pussy you're getting, no matter how much pussy you're getting, when you get some new pussy, it always does that confidence thing for you.
I mean, if it's new, sometime, but I'm just saying, I'm not even talking about. I'm not really talking about new or not. I'm just saying, just in itself,
Really?
yeah, just in itself. Like for instance, like if you're like, I guarantee you, if you don't believe me, any woman that's listening to this live right now, if you don't believe me, you can do this experiment tomorrow. I'm being dead ass serious.
Okay,
Ask any man. Ask any man. It doesn't matter who you are as a man. We've all been here, right? I guarantee you. If you're running late for work and you're driving down the highway, if a cop pulls you over and you get a ticket, right? You get a ticket right there on the spot. You get to work. You had a bad day at work. I don't know, whatever was going wrong at work, it went bad at work. It was a bad day. It was a terrible, terrible day, right? Same man, same situation. Out of all the things that I just said, if you say he got a ticket, he got bad day at work, I guarantee you that man's day is so much better if he got some pussy. Guarantee you. If all those things that I just said happened to him, he'd be like, shit, nigga, I got pulled over today, had a bad day at work, but shit, nigga, I got me some pussy, so it's okay. It's been an okay day for me.
I'm confused because what I've been hearing is that like when men are just stressed out and all this other kind of shit, they can't fuck. So
now listen, what I'm saying to you is, so for instance, like say a man gets some before he go to work, right? And then he goes out and he gets a ticket. He goes to work, has a bad day. His day really wasn't that bad because he got some. So if anything happens,
that's true for women too. Just to be clear.
So what I'm saying is, if anything bad happens to that man, you know what I'm saying? After he got some, nigga, I got a ticket today. You know what I'm saying? My baby mama, she put me on child support this morning. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I lost my job. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, I got me some pussy today, so it was a good day. You know what I'm saying? Now, same scenario. If you name all that stuff that happened in that day, and you're like, nigga, I went through all this shit, nigga, I ain't get no pussy today. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite.
So are you saying that you're not the dude that is too stressed to fuck? Because I'm telling you, I've heard that from more men than one, that like when they so
No.
stressed or when the job is stressful and shit is going on, they don't even want to fuck when they get home. Like I'm trying to give you some pussy to make you feel better, but you don't even want the dick won't even get hard because you're so stressed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like what I'm saying is if you're already in that mood, like if you're already in that zone, like if you're already like again, if you go and as soon as you start the morning off, you ain't get no pussy, right? You ain't get no pussy, right? Then you drive, you're on the way to work, you get a ticket. Damn. Right? You get to work, you got a bad day. Damn. Now when you go, now if pussy is trying to throw at you, like, man, I'm not even in the mood to fuck because all these bad things happen. Now, if you got some beforehand and all those bad things happen, then it's like, shit, nigga, that's a good day because I got me something, so I'm good.
So you're saying that what women need to do is do more fucking before work.
Yeah, you should.
Do more first thing in the morning.
You should. You absolutely should. Okay? That's all I'm saying. You should do it more often. Okay? When you leave the house in the morning, you need to give your man a little something. Like hey, I want you to have a good day.
Ron says you give him confidence till you get up and leave and don't call him no more.
What? Excuse me? What happened?
You never have you never had that experience where a woman like used you for the dick? Like, yeah, this was good, this was fun, I'm out, and then you don't never hear from her no more. Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, I told you when I was 18, the one woman
since 18, has that ever happened to you?
Has what ever happened?
Where a woman came over, y'all was talking, y'all was vibing. When y'all finally fucked, she like, yeah, she getting up and getting dressed and get ready to leave, and then you'll never hear from her no more. You gotta call her like, I ain't heard from you. What's up? You good?
Nope.
That's honestly. So I've tried to have one night stands, but the dudes always come back. It's like, what do you want? Like, we had a good time. I'm done.
Like just broke me off, and I never heard from them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's never happened.
Look, you over there clutching your pearls like you feel violated just talking about it.
I mean, that's never happened. Now, unfortunately, it's happened the other way around. I might have be like, I'm good.
Sneezy says she can always tell when her students get some because they walk in and start acting on a different level. Nitra says, yes, avoid the popular dudes. Otherwise, you'll be added to the roster. The worst is a conceited man. Another day keeps the evil away, is what you're saying to us.
Say it again, yeah. Yeah, when you get some, it makes you feel better. Yeah, it makes you feel better.
What Scorpio says, I've never met a dude who was too stressed to have sex. Man, listen.
No, like I said.
I have had too many dudes in my life. And these are dudes that like I'm in a whole relationship with and I live with or whatever. That they like, I'm stressed. The job is stressful.
But what I'm saying is you can get to a point sometimes when, like, if stress creeps up on you, you know what I'm saying, and takes a hold of you before you get some, it could put you in the mood like, I'm good. I don't want it or whatever. But if you catch a man in that early morning hour, you know what I'm saying? Like if you catch him in the early morning hour, you'll change his life. You'll have a good day.
And I don't understand it because, like, listen, I have a whole attitude. I'm definitely the type of person that, like, particularly if we're in a relationship, right? I'm definitely the type of person, like, it doesn't fucking matter to me if I'm mad, sad, happy, or glad. We fucking, right? Like, I'm not the type of person that's just so stressed. To me, honestly, if I'm that stressed, sex is going to be the thing that's going to help me feel better. Sex is going to alleviate some of my stress, at least in that moment. So I just be like, the fuck? Like, what? What you mean? What you mean? I've had men tell me, with everything going on with my job or whatever, sex is just not even on my mind. What you mean? But you got all of this. You got all of this laying next to you naked, rubbing on you, kissing on you, and you trying to tell me you so fucking stressed about what happened at the job that you What?
Yeah, I mean, but again, it all depends on when you catch the dude. Like if you catch a dude off the early morning, right? If you catch a dude, listen, if you catch the dude, you catch a man, right? And I know sometimes that the hours that I'm going to give you women kind of like goes against like codes and ethics and some shit like that, especially if a dude is you just whatever, right? If you live with a dude, it's different. But if you catch a man between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m., those are your golden peak hours. Just trying to put it out there.
Golden peak.
Put it out there. Those are your golden peak. Between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. is your golden peak hour.
What you're saying is making a lot of sense to me, right? Because Brian has been under a lot of stress, like at work and stuff like that, right? And I'm the type of person that like it doesn't matter. You can wake me up, I'll fucking sleep when I'm dead. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, nigga, we just laid next to each other, cuddled and kissed and stuff like that at 12 o'clock. Why the fuck you wait till I go to sleep? And then wake me up at 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning for fucking. Like, couldn't you have done that shit at 12 when we was up together?
No, because between 2 o'clock at 2 o'clock in the morning and about 5:30, sometimes even 6 o'clock, right? You know what I'm saying? Those are the best times because by 2 o'clock, okay, so for instance, right? On most nights, there's always some kind of sporting event on something, whether basketball, football, something. There's always something on TV, right? So usually if a man gets off from work, right? Man gets off from work, he wants to come home, he wants to eat, he had a cranky day, he ain't really trying to do nothing all mushy, like kiss me, leave me the fuck alone, I'm tired, I had a bad day, whatever. I just want to sit here, I want to stomp around, put my anger shoes on, and pout and shit for a couple hours, right? Feed me, I want food, right? So then you want to do some kind of man shit. You want to, fuck around, watch TV, some shit like that, right?
You go to sleep.
So then, right, till you go to sleep. So then, by the time you go to sleep, now you get into like your REM sleep and shit like that. So then it's like, okay, now whatever happened earlier part that day, the food is in your belly and it's kind of taking those things away. So, boom, you watched your game. All right, cool. Fuck that job. Now you fall into sleep. Right? So even if you haven't fell asleep, you've been like, you start sitting there like, like, okay, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you now like your body starts to change. Your body starts to go through, you know what? Damn, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And that's when your body starts to be like, yeah, it's go time. And then typically after you have eaten, after you've relaxed a little bit, between 2 a.m. and 5:30, sometimes 6 o'clock, that is when a man will have his strongest erection.
And it's fucking annoying because here's what happens. Now you don't woke me up at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. We didn't have some sex or whatever. Listen, after it's over, this nigga sleeps snug as the rug, right?
Out. He's out of there.
You know, you hear me?
Out of there.
By the time I go to the bathroom and come back with the washcloth, he already snoring.
Out.
And I got to get up and go to work in the next 2 hours.
Exactly. Because 9 times out of 10, depending upon what his job is, after 6 o'clock, then it's like, fuck. Now he starts to think, damn, I got to get ready to get up. I got to get ready to go to this stupid ass job. So then his mood and mode is going to start to change and start to shift because he's like, I got to get ready to get myself up and get ready to deal with this dumbass shit.
That's why I be so mad. That's why I be so mad.
And
right? You woke me up and now you snoring. I got to get up in the next 2 hours, but this nigga don't got to be at work till 12, right? So I'm like,
yeah, because it's usually going to take a man that long to start to kind of like get himself mentally prepared to get ready to go to work and deal with the dumb shit or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying from 2 to 5:30 women, all I'm saying, I know women don't really like them times of the day because like, oh nigga, you know what I'm saying? No, real shit. Okay, listen, if you don't believe me, and I probably shouldn't say this shit, I shouldn't.
You always I shouldn't. Secrets.
But listen, and this is true. Women, has it ever really dawned on you why you always get that fucking call at 2 o'clock in the motherfucking morning? Have you ever really thought about it? Like, nigga ain't no nigga ain't gonna be calling me right at no 2 o'clock in the morning. Have you ever wondered why? Now you know. Because those are the hours. Those are the hours when you feel more frisky. Those are the hours where you feel like, shit, I need some, and I gotta find some, and I'm not gonna stop until I find. Those are the hours, and that's why men call you at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, look, can I come over there and drop it off in your drawer? But then y'all be like, nah, the only time you call me is when you want some at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you don't want to be seen with me. I mean, you can turn the lights on, I'll see you. Oh, you know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. I'm just telling you.
Okay, so the reviews on this are mixed. You know, our audience is, you know, people who are watching us live on IG, they're like, some people are like, yeah, wake me the fuck up. I'm with it. And some women are like, yeah, I'm okay for 2, but not 5:30. And then Sneezy says that will work good for those who work from home nowadays. But the rest of us who got to get up, you know, the only reason why, part of the reason why, first of all, I went through a period where, like, I was trying to determine whether I was like a nymphomaniac, or I was trying to determine, like, am I addicted to sex, right? Because my last ex made me feel like I need to talk to a therapist and make sure I'm not addicted to sex. I'm not addicted to sex because they said if you have a sex addiction, it will keep you from doing what you have to do. Like, you'll be like, fuck this job because I got to get some, that type of thing. So I don't have those issues. But the only thing that keeps me is the fact that, like, right now I work part-time, right? So I really only work 4 hours a day. And I have always, my entire life, God knows what I need and he gives me what I need. I've always, my entire life, had jobs that are very flexible, right? So if I wake up, I'm supposed to be at work at 9. If I wake up and I'm like, I'm too fucking tired because I was up with this nigga at 5:30, and I just text, you know, we have an app called Slack where we just say what time we'll be there. I just put on there and be like, I'll be in at 11, right? That works for me in my life right now. And I only work 4 hours, and the whole time I'm getting dressed, I'm saying when I get home, I'm gonna take a nap. I never really take a nap, but that's what I tell myself. But, like, how does that, isn't that kind of fucking selfish, though, for the one that doesn't, you know what I mean, have that flexibility, for the one that has to be at work at 7:30 in the morning and you to just finish fucking with them at 5:30, fucked up their sleep. You know how long it takes to get in REM sleep? By the time they get back to sleep, it's time to get up. Isn't that fucking selfish?
I mean, listen, here's the thing. I would say, I mean, in a situation like that, when someone has to go to work and all this other stuff, yes, it's probably considered a little selfish. But if I know that that's my peak time, I'm gonna be a little. I mean, you know, most men, you know, sometimes we tend to be a little selfish between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm saying. I'm just.
In the comments, the ladies have said I'm too old for 2 a.m. sex. Better reach me before 11:30. 11:30, pretty driven. Like, how old are you? Like, what do you mean?
I'm just saying.
A lot of people are saying I'm good for the 2 a.m., but that 5:30 one, yeah, you're gonna have to catch me tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, but those are the good ones.
I'll be like, because and I know that, like, he normally goes to sleep before I do, right? So in my mind, I'm like, so you just fucking woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and was like, I'm out your sleep? You just woke up?
Oh, check this out, right? Check this out. Real shit. Women, real question. Have you ever been in the bed and been laying there with a man, and then all of a sudden this nigga is dead ass sleep? I'm talking about gone, like calling the animals in the barnyard. Like, I'm talking about straight gone. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, if you just happen to look at the clock, it's always around about between 2 and 5:30. He's like filling you up, rubbing all on you, touching all on you, hand between your legs, all of that. And you be like, nigga, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, he fall right back asleep. I tell you, like, I'm not like, if you think about it, I'm telling y'all some good shit. I'm not lying. You right, know what it is.
No, I'm a co-sign on this. You're right about this shit.
I'm trying to tell you, it's that sleep when you're coming right out of, it's like you coming right out of your REM sleep. And right when you're coming out of that REM sleep, I'm telling you, your endorphins and all that shit it be going. And that's when niggas be like, look, you gonna listen, I know you gotta go to work, but you about to get this work. I'm just trying to tell you. Those are typically the best times to catch a bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. But Marche says she wakes up on her sleep and wants some. Generally, once I'm asleep, I'm over it. So I might, when I wake up for the day, I might want some. But generally, once you go ahead and let me go to sleep, one Scorpio chica says men are crazy. Men are crazy. Like what?
Like, we're not crazy, but it's just how it is sometimes. I don't even know what happens, but I promise you, between 2 and 5:30, yeah, we be trying to catch bodies.
2 and 5. You know what? I'm gonna do some research on this because I feel like there has to be some like physiological research on this shit right here because this is like
I'm telling you.
I really thought it was only Brian.
No, and listen, also, you got to think about it. You have to think about it like this. Real shit. No. Right? Maybe not so much now, right? Because the ways in the world is different. But you got to think. Back in the day when we were coming up and we were going to clubs, let me ask women a question. Let me ask you a question. If you go to a club, what time does the club let out? What time the club let out? What time the club let out? Think about it. What happened? We can't hear you. What happened?
I was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh. And if you think about it, like I said, if you think about most clubs.
Club is usually, most clubs will close at what, 2?
Most clubs, you get out at 2 o'clock. Most times, right? Most times what happens is you get out of the club about 2 o'clock. Most times, if drinking is your thing, you've been in the club drinking. You've been rubbing up on booty all fucking night long. You've been chasing this one chick around the club all night, buying her drinks, all this other shit, right? So at that time between 2, right, and 5:30, like after the club, you might go to the Waffle House or whatever.
You gotta go to the Waffle House or the Pancake House. You gotta go.
Or something. So in those hours are between 2 and 5. And then 9 times out of 10, your goal or your mission is to what? You're trying to get some. And it happens between that time. And then usually, if you're just going over to smash and dash, you're gonna go over there, you're gonna hit her off, and then what? Before the sun come up, which is usually what? Before 6 o'clock, you out of there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what it is.
You know what? Men get on our nerves. Now women.
Listen, I'm telling you.
We might have to revolt women and be like, no, you're not going to fucking use us.
Listen, I'm just telling you what it is.
I want a dick at 11:30. I want a dick at 11:30. I shouldn't have to wait till 3:30 to get the dick I want at 11:30.
Now listen, I'm not saying that women can't get the dick before that time. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you're probably going to get the most efficient penis between 2 and 5:30 in the morning. I'm just trying to tell you what it is. I'm just trying to tell you.
Wait a minute. Efficient though?
Yeah, that's when a man's penis is most effective. I'm just trying to tell you what it is.
Between 2 and 5.
I'm not saying.
You know what?
I'm not saying that. Again,
that might just be old men. Because them young men, they don't got that problem. Them young men is fucking no matter what hour you want to fuck. Period.
Listen, and I'm not. Listen, again, I'm not saying because we're on the radio, so I don't want to put too much bad information out there. So I'm not saying that you can't get dick before then or no shit like that. But I'm telling you, between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. I promise you.
40. For niggas over 40,
it don't,
2 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Listen to me. What I'm telling you is, men between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m., I'm telling you, that's when a man is going to give you his best work. And even young niggas will probably give it to you. Young niggas will probably even give it to you even worse than that because they're young. But between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m., I'm trying to tell you,
no,
that's when you're going to get the most.
I've already told you.
Yeah.
I've already told you. Let me just tell you this. I love fucking a young nigga, right? Because young niggas fuck older women like they got some shit to prove, right? Because they think, you know, the older woman's more experienced, she know more. Them young niggas will last until 2 to 5 a.m. You hear what I'm saying? Them young niggas will start at 12 and be still fucking at 3.
Well, listen. What I'm saying is, listen, if your pussy can stand up to it, then by all means have at it. Now, if your pussy can do that, hey, you do it. I'm just saying, most effective time between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. is just my humble opinion. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm going to go on record and say this. Nothing that I'm saying has been scientifically proven, so I don't want nobody calling in the station. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying.
Listen. You're right. Most of the women have come on here and said, you know what? Now that you done put that shit out there, and I think about some shit, you sure right.
All I'm doing is giving you women something to think about.
We're not disagreeing with you. We're saying you sure right. We're saying that y'all need to think about some shit a little differently and stop being so fucking selfish.
I'm trying to give y'all just a little.
This Crown Locks you just got here. You talking about we still talking about dick? Wait, what? Okay, listen. This moves me to the next thing I want to talk about because one of our viewers submitted it to me, right? So we talked a little bit earlier about social media. What about dating sites? How many dating sites, Paul, would you say you have been a part of? Like, how many is there? I don't even know. Like, it's probably some dating sites I don't even know nothing about. I be seeing commercials about farmers.com and shit. Like, farmers? How many dating sites are there, or have you been a part of, you think?
Well, I don't, I don't know if we're regulated or whatever like that, so I don't really want to just name them and run them off. But I think we pretty much know all the dating sites that's out there. So if there is a dating site, I've probably pretty much at some point in time in my life.
So you was on ChristianMingle.com?
I was.
Nigga, why? Nigga, why? If a woman came on Christian Mingle and wanted to talk to you about the Bible, how is that going to go?
Listen, this is what I was. Oh my God, I don't like you sometimes. I really don't like you because I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I don't like you sometimes. I don't know what the rules are, right? So I don't know what we can say, what we can't say. But I did go on ChristianMingle.com, okay? And I had a little profile on Christian Mingle.
What did your profile say? Paul, just tell me, just entertain me and tell me, what did your profile on Christian Mingle say?
And
what was you going to do with a good Christian girl?
Listen, I'm probably gonna go to hell, and I'm just gonna go. So I went on ChristianMingle.com, and I basically said something to the effect of, a friend of mine took me to church,
Did you lie?
A friend of mine took me to church. A friend of mine took me to church. And I felt the spirit. I don't quite know what the spirit was, but I began to weep. And I don't. Dead ass. Listen, dead ass. And I was like, maybe someone here can help explain to me these feelings and help educate me on the Bible. That's what I said.
Paul, you going to hell. You going straight hell. Do not pass.
I'm not debating whether or not I'm probably going to go to hell or not, but I'm telling you what my profile said.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like what?
I mean, listen,
Miss Crown
listen,
says you keep karma busy.
listen. Let me tell you something, and let me tell you something, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And what I have found out, okay, and what I have found out in my life, church women, let me tell you, listen.
Yes, we've
Listen.
all heard it. We've all heard church women are some
Yeah.
of the freakiest
Yup.
women.
Yup. Yup. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm not gonna take anything away from any of those Christian women because they wanted to show me the way and they wanted to show me salvation. Okay? You understand? They wanted to save my soul. That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
Yeah, I'm just telling you what happened.
so I'm a real church woman, right? Like I'm a
No,
real church woman. Like I'm a licensed minister. Like I go to church every Sunday, Bible study every Wednesday. I'm on the prayer line Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon, right? So I got on Christian Mingle when I got my divorce or whatever. I got on Christian Mingle. What I quickly found out is that I don't believe there are any Christians actually on Christian Mingle.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you because yeah, I'm just trying to tell you. That's what my profile.
Nitra says more like those women would snatch your soul. That's so listen, so when I in the LS world, I've never made it a secret that I go to church, right? So in the LS world, my nickname became Church Pussy.
We know because you're nasty.
So no, so this nickname came about originally because everybody knew that like I went to church or whatever. I finally go to my first LS party. When we leave the LS party, they have an after party. The LS party wasn't nothing sexual going on. It was just like a meet and greet. They have an after party. I guess, at this point now I know it was some fucking, right? So we get to the hotel. I'm like, I'm going to the after party. I'm having about a good time. We get to the LS party and they have one room where we're just kind of hanging out and mingling. And they have another room. And the guy comes in who run the group. He says, if you're not in this room, if you're in this room and you're not fucking, you got to go. So I put up my church finger and I tipped on out. Right?
And they started calling you Church Pussy.
So that's where my Church Pussy name originated from. After I had sex with one or two, then they said it was more like what somebody said earlier, where I snatched souls. And, so now they were like, oh, you church pussy, because this pussy it makes you call on the Lord. It makes you call on Jesus, right? So
really, I mean, that's what you're doing in the bedroom. I mean, that's what you're doing. So okay, you snatching souls, huh? Okay, all right. I mean, let me ask you. I asked women this before. Like, do women walk around with the air of confidence that we as men sometimes do when we think we put it down? Like, do women do that?
Absolutely.
Do women do like? Do you women go in like? Do you guys go in the bathroom and look down at your pussy like, girl? We did that. Did y'all do that?
Shut up. My wifey said, wifey. Absolutely, women do. Absolutely, women go in and be like, that you was on top of things tonight.
Really?
Absolutely, women say to themselves, what that mouth do? You know what that mouth do, bitch. Like, absolutely.
Yeah? Really? Y'all ain't shit.
Marche says, I'm in the soul snatching business. Like, absolutely. Like,
damn.
We absolutely, decide once we figure out we're great at something, we absolutely be like, this is my shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. All right. Okay, I mean, look, listen, we got a couple more minutes in this motherfucker, right? So I'm about to get into some shit, right? So check this out, right? Ladies, since y'all want to be out here snatching souls and all this and all that, okay, if there was a scale, you can answer or you cannot answer. I don't know if you want to or not want to, but on a scale, if it was a scale, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, y'all know where I'm going with this. You already know. If you had to rate it, what you giving yourselves out there? I want to know. I mean, what you giving yourselves? I want to know. Are y'all, what y'all doing?
So for women, I think, and that might be the slight difference between men and women. I think most women, like, we try not to get a big head, right? So most women will be like, yeah, you know what I mean? I know I can suck a mean dick, right? But we try to tell ourselves that, like, you know what I mean? Every nigga is different. You know what I mean? Just because you snatch this nigga's soul and that nigga's soul don't mean that, like, you know, it's across the board. So we try to keep ourselves on level ground so we don't get such a big head that we think we're gonna snatch every soul we come across. I think that's the minor difference between men and women when it comes to that confidence and, like, you know, whether we're looking in the mirror or not. But for the most part, I think women, we find out very early on what it is that we're good at, right? Every woman ain't good at giving head. Like, if we was really honest with ourselves,
You know that.
you know what I mean?
Right.
If we were really honest with ourselves, every woman ain't good at giving head, right? If we were really honest with ourselves, every woman don't know how to do that thing with your pussy that makes it pulsate on the dick, right? Every woman don't do that, right? So what we usually try to do is we try to identify what is the thing that we think we're good at, and we stick with it.
And then you can just go get the vinegar and water and bring it back
and snatch it right on back. So here's what I know. Like the women in my family, like when we get on the phone with each other, we be like, yeah, you know, we famous for that snatch back, right? Because like we just know that, like, once I fuck you, my nigga, like, you're not gonna really go anywhere. Like you're not gonna go. Like, I got snatch back. Like, it just is what it is.
So what? Okay, so I guess so what is it that you women, you know, like I guess like how do you know that a man's soul has been snatched? Huh? Like, what's the indicator? Like, how do you know? What is it? Like, what is that telltale thing that's like, yeah, girl.
Well, it's different things, right? It's different things. We run into these dudes that say, oh, I ain't never come from head. So now, you know what I mean? You're like, okay. Sometimes I'm like, he lying, but whatever. Sometimes that becomes like a personal challenge for us. Oh, he said he ain't never come from head? I got you, right? We can usually tell by your physical reactions. Never usually words, right? Because men lie. Men fucking lie. It's never usually words, but your physical reaction is undeniable, right? When you're physically looking like you just want to ball up in the fetal position and suck your thumb because I didn't fuck you so good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You know what I mean?
You do?
Yeah, I know. And that's what Nietzsche said from his reaction. You make his knees buckle. Miss Crownlock says now she rates her head at about 8.5 because these braces is getting in the way. Right? Women, I think the difference maybe between men and women is that women are usually real honest with themselves. Unless, now there's a caveat, unless we deal with a bunch of niggas that just been fucking lying, right? But generally, women are real honest with themselves, right? So I have dudes, I ran into a dude that I gave head to when I was 16 years old.
16?
I ran into this dude like 4 years ago. He was a bartender at a bar in Baltimore. I was in town or whatever. And, hey, it's good to see you. How you been? Blah, blah, blah. And he gave me my drink or whatever. When I went to go pay my tab, he says to me, you don't got to pay a tab. As a matter of fact, wherever I'm bartender, you don't ever have to pay because I just think back and remember to that head you was giving me. I said, what? I said, wait a minute. If you thought you was getting that head at 16, nigga, I'm fucking 40 now. You listen.
Well, do you really, okay, but at 16, do you really think you was sucking dick like that at 16?
I didn't think that, right? But I think, part of it was that, like, at 16, you remember that time when it wasn't really like the end thing to do. It wasn't PC really to suck dick, right? So I think part of it was that, like, I was one of the chicks that was actually willing to suck dick because a lot of girls was like, oh, I don't do that.
Well, there must be some women out there right now that still think they 16. God damn it. That's all I'm saying. They must fucking think they still think.
I did not think it was that great, right? And like I said, in my mind, I'm like, well, if the head was like that, when you thought it was like that at 16, if I was to give you some head today, you might lose your whole mind, right? But I would like to think that from 16 to now,
you might have learned some shit. Right. But the sad, well, I guess the sad part about that sometime is You know, it's always one of two ways that you can look at a woman who has tremendous abilities in the art of, let's just say, fellatio. It's either they was with one man a really long time and did a lot of practicing. On the other side, they could have been with a whole bunch of niggas doing a whole bunch of practicing. Then it's just like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know
that
what?
could be bad.
I blame men for why a woman's head hasn't gotten better or improved. And the reason that I blame men for that is because how often, I mean, now maybe there are definitely some anomalies out there, right? But how often does a dude just be like, that was whack? Like, how often does a dude be like, that was whack, try this, try that, and try to help her? Instead, he'd be like, yeah, that head was fire. Even though he'd be like, that was some whack ass shit. I hope she never give me a head again. But because you don't tell the truth, look, Brian just came from.
I gotta chime in on that one. That's some bullshit.
Brian just came in from work and he said that this is lies.
I've said it was whack. And like I said, when you try to help them, their response is, don't tell them what to do, how many dicks you suck. So at that point, what can I say? I ain't suck none. What I can tell you, what you're doing is some bullshit. Get a hot dog and some pretzels on that shit.
Yeah, like I said before, like I can honestly, like like I said, like head is just, we ain't gotta talk about it too long, but head is just one of those things that, like I said, I think for some women, it's like an acquired taste. I think innately some women are just better at it because I just think it's something that, like as a woman, like I think a woman, like she has to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman starts to feel like she might be obligated to do it.
No, lies.
Yeah.
Lies. Let me tell you I know this is a lie. Let me tell you I know this is a lie. I personally do not love giving head, right? I don't love it. Nothing in me is ever sitting around like, oh, I just want to suck a dick. And I have friends that be like, girl, I just want to suck. I love sucking dick. I have oral fixation, blah, blah, blah. Nothing in Ebony is ever like.
Well, that's you.
No, that's not to say that every now and then I don't be like, oh, I'm going to suck his dick, right? But for the most part, like nothing in me is ever like, oh, I can't wait to suck a dick. I love sucking dick. I just love sucking dick. Nothing in me. Like if I met a dude that was like, and I have met one or two dudes who are like, I don't really like head. I'm like, bet. That's my shit. That works for me because I don't really like giving head, right? But I have learned that like that's what men like. You got to do the shit men like. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want them to do the shit to you that you like, you got to give and take, right? But nothing in me is like dying to give head. So I disagree with the fact that you have to love to do it well. Because I don't love to do it, but I do it well. Now, I only know I do it well because I've been told that a number of times by a number of men throughout my lifespan.
Damn. I mean, a number?
And oftentimes, even when they say it, I'll be like, that's weird. Like, to me, I'm like, what is so great about my head? Honestly, I have Brian to tell you, I've asked him, what's so great about my head? Like, to me, I just know that, like, I've never got no dick sucking lessons or nothing. But one thing I learned early on is that they don't fucking like teeth. You know what I mean? You probably want to make sure that it's wet. Like, other than that, what am I doing different than any other dick sucking dick?
I think everyone's experience is different, but in just my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had in my day, like I've had women who I could tell, like they did it, but they didn't put their back into it. Like I can like they did it, was like, okay, like they'll do it. But then I've had a select few that I'm like, I mean, I've looked at them like, I mean, like.
Wait a minute. Sharon, why are you telling my wifey said, wifey, stop. I really, like, if I could get away with never sucking dick, unless I just, every once in a while, you know what I mean? I get a little whim and I'm like, oh, I want to suck this dick. But I promise you, it's like so few and far between. So one Scorpio Chica says, Miss Crown Lock says, ask a man who sucks dick how to get it right. I ain't never did that.
I don't
Miss
even.
Crownlock says, you know the effort you put into satisfying to me, and you're just giving head to others. Then it's a waste of time. Now that's true. Here's the thing: even though I don't love it, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. Right? That's really my personality. My personality is really whatever I say I'm going to do, I'm gonna do it right. I'm not gonna half-ass do anything that I'm doing. So I guess the thing that makes me give head well is that if I'm gonna be giving head, I'm not gonna half-ass give head, right? Because I don't want nobody to half-ass give me head. So if I am giving head, I'm putting my whole heart and soul and tongue or whatever into it. Doesn't mean that I love it. It just means that now that I'm here, I'm gonna do a good job.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. I mean, Brian is shaking his head, so I guess
men out here half-ass eating pussy?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there are probably some men that half-ass it, I guess, I would imagine. You know what I'm saying? I would think so.
I think so too, because I've had a lot of women say he's not licking the right party. But again, I attribute that to the women that's been fucking lying to him, right? Like if a woman had ever said to him, or if there were several women that were like, let me be honest with you, the shit you doing is whack. Like you don't lick that part. Like licking the lip of my pussy is not going to do a whole lot for me. Like it really comes down to, are we being honest with the people that we're having sexual relations with?
I don't know.
So Paul, you've been honest with women when they gave you whack head. Did you tell them it was whack head? Did you tell them to try something different? Like, what did you do when you was getting whack head?
I didn't tell them.
You weren't honest. So now you left that woman to go to the next dude thinking that she's blowing minds and shit because you weren't honest.
Well, I mean, but sometimes we don't, like women, like the same, like this, okay, perfect example, the same way we was talking about the other day when you was like, a man shouldn't ask those dumbass questions. Like women typically doesn't ask the question. You know what I'm saying? Women's not going to say, so did I do a good job? You know what I'm saying? So it's really never a conversation that you really have to end up in.
Yeah, so you wait for them to ask, you just let them give you this badass, boring ass BJ and you just suffer through it?
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
So what you just you just kind of move them and make them think you so excited to get to the pussy that you don't want to do this no more?
Huh?
Yeah, see, I never had a dude do that. Like, I never had a dude do that. Like, I gotta stop sucking your dick because if I just keep sucking your dick, we're gonna be here all night. Like, I've never had a dude be like, okay, stop sucking my dick so I can fuck you. Or if I have, it's because the dude is like, I'm about to come. So either you want me to come in your mouth or we fucking. Ooh. I've never had a dude just be like, yeah, enough of that. Let's move to the next thing.
Well, I mean, that's good. Wow. Spectacular. B.
And again.
How was your day, bro?
And again.
It was all right.
And again, for women, most women, of course, nothing is for every person under the sun. But most women, it's not because, I'm not saying this because I have a big head, right? Because again, like I always say to people, I don't feel like I'm doing anything extraordinary or, outstanding that's different from any other bitch that's sucking dick.
Oh.
But I also, like, you have to take cues from the person that you're with, right? So I'm listening, right? I'm listening. I'm knowing that when I do this certain thing, he responds to that. That's how, like we talked about on the other show, I was like, Brian likes deep throat, right? Because I listen to how he responds to that. Even though he says he doesn't need it, I listen to how he responds to that. I see how his body responds. We can feel in our mouth whether you start throbbing and the veins start doing something or not. All of that, you got to be present in a moment to know what's going on.
Right. I agree. I mean, so I guess, I just know, yeah. So what have we learned today? You know what I'm saying? What have we learned today? What have we learned today from today's episode?
Somehow we got completely off topic. We got to get back to the topic. The topic was topic was about dating sites, right? So Paul told us about this lying ass shit he used to put on Christian Mingle. Did it work? Did women inbox you and say, I'm trying to help you find the spirit? Did it work?
It did. Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It
Sure
did.
did.
So you met and fucked women for Christian Mingle.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you I learned real quick Christian Mingle ain't for
And
Christians.
I mean, the funny part about it was like, you know, we never went to church. Never went to church. Never.
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all just didn't go to the building.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? We never went to church.
The church is in you.
I guess so. But yeah, I mean, like I said, dating sites are what they are. I mean, you know, I've been on dating sites. I mean, since, I don't know, I guess the beginning of Earth, when dating sites first started.
Not Earth.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
so the topic that I got on my inbox was about being married and separated, right? Because we live in a time where I just want to, for those of you who don't know, it's a lot easier to get married than it is to get divorced.
A whole lot easier.
Mm.
So the topic that was submitted to me was, when you're on a dating site and you're married but you're separated, should that be part of your like bio or something that you say right away, or when should that become a part of the conversation?
In the beginning.
I don't necessarily know if it has to be quote unquote a part of your bio. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, at least, because you just never know. But I'm thinking, like, after you make contact with that person and you start thinking, I probably might want to get to know this person, then you might want to mention and be like, hey, by the way, before we go any further, blase this, blase that, this is what it is, this is what it's not, you know what I'm saying? Again, so you don't end up having like trouble like later on down the road about a situation, about an issue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, so Owen says that it should be a part of your bio. DJ Rock says first date.
Yeah,
DJ Rock
not a first date.
WMEG says it should be first date.
I'll tell you before the first date.
Well, so when Paul and I were talking about it, and Paul was like, well, why? And I was like, well, some people have very strong convictions about, like, I don't want to fuck with somebody that's married, right? Whether you separated, live in different states, whatever, I don't want to fuck with somebody that's married. My personal boundaries are, I don't want to fuck with somebody that's married. So.
Right. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in your bio to say that. You know what I'm saying? For example,
says it should be in your bio too. And what does the bio say? Married but separated? Like, what does the bio say?
What I'm saying is like each thing is different. Like you can set, like sometimes you can set options. You can say single, married, separated, divorced, or just whatever. So it just all depends on, you know, what site you're on, because each site was going to do something different. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think it needs to be, quote unquote, in your bio, but I think that once you make contact with the person or whatever, you say, hey, look, just to let you know, yeah, I'm married, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm newly separated or whatever like that, because then at the same time, it's like, how much information do you want to give this person right now? Because you might not even hit it off with the person, so what's the point of even saying anything even to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Perfect example, because I mean, there's some other things that could be and should be in bios, but we don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? How about that? You know what I'm saying? It's so easy for people to say, well, just put the fact that you're separated in there, but there's some other things that are out there, like, dare we say, sexually transmitted diseases that people might have and contracted that you can't get rid of. You know, we can talk about shit like that. That's not necessarily, we don't broadcast that, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Right? Like, we don't do that. People don't say, hey, well, just to let you know, I got XYZ, you know, it's like luggage, can't get rid of it. We know what we're talking about, but people don't put that in bio. You might not tell no shit like that until much, much later on, if you even tell people at all. You know what I mean? So why is that not a thing? Why is, you know?
Right.
How about that?
So I have been married and dating, right? So for me, I didn't immediately file for divorce for a couple reasons. The first reason was I didn't want to fucking pay for it. Like I felt like he done put me through enough shit throughout this 14-year marriage that the least he can do is pay for the divorce. Then he got locked up because he beat his girlfriend or something, some shit like that. So I was like, I don't want to like kick him while he's down. So I couldn't serve him divorce papers while he in jail, even though everybody around me was like, that's the best time. You know exactly where he is, And so it was a couple reasons. And to me, it just was like, it's not really hindering my life that I'm technically married. So I didn't actually file for divorce papers until I was in a relationship where I guess the dude at this point was like, look, I want to build something with you. I want to propose to you or whatever, but you married. So then I was like, okay, fine. And I filed the divorce papers. But it definitely wasn't in my bio, although I wasn't really on dating sites because I hate dating sites. I think, to me, most dating sites I've come across have really been more about hookups than people who actually want to date and get to know each other. So I just kind of steer away from dating sites because it's whack. Like I just be like, you know what I mean? I know how to fuck somebody. Like I don't need a site to help me fuck somebody.
Well, I mean, but the thing about dating sites or anything for that matter, you know what I'm saying? It's what you make of it. You know what I'm saying? I hear people say all the time, well, I'm not gonna get on this dating site because I heard it's a hookup spot, or I ain't gonna get on this because it's a hookup spot. Shit, if you were growing up in the early '90s and the 2000s, every goddamn club you went to is a hookup spot. Like I don't know. I'm not saying that there can't be. I'm not saying that there could not have been, but never in the history of any nigga that I knew was going to a fucking club because, oh, you know what, man, they just have great fucking music. Like, no, fuck out of here. Most men were going to the club for one reason only, and that's you're trying to do this. You're trying to shoot your shot. You're trying to get some. That's it. So even if a dating site, there are going to be people on there with different agendas. When you walk outside to the grocery store, there's going to be people with different agendas. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that you come across in any platform, there's going to be different agendas. And if the dude is on there looking to smash, you'll learn that. If a dude is really trying to get to know you, you're going to learn that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really make a difference. I mean, where you meet them, if a dude's intention is just to smash, the nigga could be in the grocery store. The nigga could be at the post office. The nigga could be at your job. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really make so it's like, it doesn't mean like, oh, because I met you on a dating site, I'm going to be a good dude. It doesn't mean because you met me on a dating site, I'm going to be a bad dude. It just all depends on what that person's agenda is, period. That's all that ever matters. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, you're also going into a club knowing it's a hookup thing. You're going into it knowing that. They're calling it a dating site. Some people are looking for relationships. Like, what was that one that was out? Tinder. Everybody, that was known as a hookup site. Tinder was known as that. They didn't really call it a dating site. They called it that for commercials and stuff, but everybody knew that's what that was. It wasn't really a dating site.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but again, everything is going to be different. It's always going to, when you put a whole bunch of people on any one thing, right? Perfect example. Come on now. Like, and we all know, and if you don't know, you about to find out right now, right? Perfect example. Real shit. Like when I first got on Facebook, right? Let's keep it 100. There was Facebook, then there was Facebook. You know what I'm saying? It was, come on. You know what I'm talking about.
No,
it was like you got all this.
I did not know that Facebook had groups till like 2014.
So that's my point. So what I'm saying is there was Facebook, everybody put all this shit on their page and with the kids and shit like that. Then you go into one of these groups, you be like, holy shit, what the fuck is Facebook? What the fuck is going on? You seeing ass and titties and all kind of shit. Like I didn't even know Facebook had that. So it's like it's all about. So it's what I'm saying. It's all about what you're into, what your objective is, and what your goal is. No matter what platform you're on, you know what I'm saying. I mean, there's people probably on Tinder who ended up finding real dates, going on real dates. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and
so
what you're on there for.
The second part, we have about 7 minutes left in the show, but the second part of the question was, if once you guys have connected and said, hey, we like each other, we're going to see where this goes, are you cool with the person staying on the dating app after you're trying to establish what's going on? One Scorpio Chica says, I've never hooked up with anyone from Facebook, but I've never met anyone, dinner people, I don't know what dinner people is, who have become some of my, but I've met some people, that's supposed to be some people, who have become some of my closest friends. I agree. I have established a lot of relationships. I met Brian on Facebook, right? I've established a lot of relationships, friendships on Facebook. So like we were talking earlier about social media, I think that social media is literally what each individual makes it, right? Because social media doesn't have to be an area of contention for relationships. It doesn't have to be an area where I have to figure out whether I trust you or not. It's literally what you make it. I have friends that I don't have social media just because they don't want to be caught up in no shit with all they women and men and stuff like that. So they'd be like, I don't have social media. And I'm like, I don't have those problems. Like, it's literally what you make it. You decide for you what your social media is going to do for you. I've done a lot of positive networking on Facebook. Exactly. I think that all social media definitely has the potential to be a very positive and lucrative thing, as does it have the potential to be a very negative and an issue in your life, just depending upon how you choose to use it.
Right. That's what I think.
So in 2014, when I got a divorce from I broke up with my husband, a friend of mine said, hey, can I add you to a Facebook group? And I was like, Facebook got groups? I didn't even know. It was like an underground. Now everybody knows about groups. They make commercials and shit. But back then, it was like an underground network or something that I had no idea about. And they added me to the singles group. And my life then took a whole different turn, because now, that's literally how I found my independence. Because when I was married, I was a wife and I was a mother and I was a good church-going member. I didn't have anything else outside of that. I didn't have no single friends. I didn't have no social life. And they added me to this group, and I started going to this happy hour that this singles group was having every Thursday. And then I started to come into who I really am and develop who I really am for me. So I attribute a lot of that to Facebook groups.
Okay. Well, I think we have definitely learned some things tonight. I hope you guys have learned some things. Again, it's about time to close this thing on out, get up on out of here. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for tuning in to Steel Radio. I'm your man, Steel. That's Ebony, a.k.a. Miss Hot Topic.
That's me.
That's Brian, a.k.a. B-Rabbit, a.k.a. The Green IG. And so I thank you guys for tuning in with us. I appreciate you. Please keep tuning in. We'll have another show on Sunday, our regular time, 8:30. Big shout out to Rock, you know what I'm saying, from WMEG Radio. Thank you again for having us a part of your network. We really appreciate this opportunity, man. We're gonna continue to do big things in 2022. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna grow. We're gonna grow. We're gonna grow. And and everyone is a big part of that. So please keep tuning into the show. If you haven't already tuned in to WMEG Radio, please make sure you do that. You know what I'm saying?
You can do that with Apple Music at WMEG. You can do that. What's the app called?
TuneIn
app at WMEG, and you can also go to rock ROCMEG1.com to find that station as well.
Yes, that's what's up. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been another lovely show. I'm your man, Steel. Again, my lovely co-host, Ebony, a.k.a. Miss Hot Topic. Brian, aka B Rabbit, aka the Green Eyed Genie. And we will see you guys Sunday at the same time.
Make sure that you send any topic ideas to my, you can send them to me. I have a Facebook page, Miss Hot Topic. You can send them on my IG, Miss Hot Topic. You can watch YouTube and send them there. Any topic ideas, show ideas, questions, anything you want us to talk about, please feel free to submit that to us. Or else we're going to always be on here just doing our thing because I Miss Hot Topic and that's what I do. But we're always happy to talk about, the topics that you all feel are important to you. You can follow Still on Still Radio _uncut on IG. Also on Facebook, it's the same thing. You can follow me on IG on Facebook at MissMS.HotTopic. Also on the, as you would say, Paul, the tickety talk.
Tickety talk.
You can follow me there at the same name. That's my YouTube page as well. You can follow the Green Eyed Genie. We got to figure out what you want your name to be. Because I told Paul those are his names that are personal to him. You might not want everybody to call you that, right? So
They won't.
you can follow him at THEE, Nostalgia ENT Entertainment. He also has a Facebook page, the Nostalgia Entertainment. You can follow him at either one of those places as well. It has been an absolute pleasure. I finished the last of my Ciroc.
We are out of here. Peace
Good night,
out.
guys.
See y'all Sunday.
See y'all.
Y'all be easy.
What's today?